University Tigers will get ready to entertain the Southern University Jaguars as ESPN College Football is presented by Pepsi. The Jags are ready to come out. They are fired up and ready to go under first-year head coach Terrence Gray. And on the other side, for the Jackson State University Tigers, the smoke. The Jags want the smoke. Head coach T.C. Taylor leading his troops out on to the home field. Hi, everybody. Santoria Black here at Mississippi Veterans Stadium here in Jackson, along with Mo Carter. Mo, you can't ask for more of an exciting game. Two teams, big rivalry, and they don't like each other.
Absolutely. They do not like each other. I played in this game 3 times. There was no rah-rah speech that ever had to be given to me by Coach Pete Richardson because at the end of the day, both teams want to get the W.
Absolutely. Now, I'll tell you what, if Southern University wants the upset here today on the road, they're going to have to depend on their defense led by Kelby Givens.
Absolutely. Kelby Givens, the 2024 SWAC preseason defensive player of the year. So far this year, he's already got 8 tackles and 1.5 sacks. He's a guy that T.C. Taylor described as a disruptor. So basically, they may have to put 2 or 3 guys on him and always know where he's lining up.
On the other side, head coach T.C. Taylor has a great problem, and that problem is having 2 very talented quarterbacks in Cameron McCoy and Jacobian Morgan.
Coach Taylor told us earlier this week he is a big component of letting guys get an opportunity to play, so that's why both guys saw action this week. We do not know who will start, but we'll find out in a few minutes because both guys have a different dynamic that yields positive results for the Tigers.
And, of course, the Southern University Jaguars led by that man, first-year coach Terrence Graves, of course, studied under legendary Southern University coach Pete Richardson. And when we talked to him this week, he said, this is a great opportunity, but everything that he does, no matter on the field or off the field, is always led by God.
Absolutely. He is a God-fearing man. He'll always tell you that he is the son of 2 ministers, and for sure, he lets everything lead God with one first, and then after that, he rolls it on from himself into his players.
And head coach T.C. Taylor said there is no need to have a rah-rah speech here today. If you can't get up for this game, then you don't need to be on this field. Second-year coach, 7-5 overall. Southern University wins the toss. They have elected to defer until the second half. So that means that Jackson State will get a chance to put this offense on the field first.
Of course, with Coach T.C. Taylor, we know he's a Mississippi native. He has been on the staff for this game. He's also played in this game. When we talked to him earlier this week, he said this was one of his favorite games to play, not only because he had great games against Southern University, but of course he embraces the rivalry between the Jaguars and the Tigers.
There you see the Jackson State University marching band, and we are ready for college football presented by Pepsi. Southern and Jackson State live from Jackson, and here's the opening kick by Southern University. It will come down to Jackson State and out to about the 25. Great return early on by Travis Terrell Jr., the freshman. Averages about 17 yards on returns, and he gets a big return to start things out for Jackson State.
Jacob Spencer was the guy that able to come up with the tackle for the Southern University Jaguars. If he does not make that tackle, Jackson State is probably starting off in Southern University territory.
And we will see Cameron McCoy on the field first. He had 2 touchdowns, of course, 5 for 9 passing in that game against Lane, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game from St. Louis, Missouri. And so the sophomore will get a chance to come out onto the field first, try to move Jackson State down the field. Early handoff, and the Buffet Busters moving things across the 35, and let's go down to our keys to the game, presented by our good friends at GM.
All right, so for the Southern University Jaguars, we know for sure that they are going to have to protect Zay T-Set, their quarterback, and of course establishing a rushing attack. For Jackson State, wear down Southern University's defense. Southern's defense is one of the best in the SWAC, but if you keep them on the field a long time and keep the offense off, then it will not be a good day for the guys from Baton Rouge.
Motion for Jackson State, pass is complete. And what a catch. And no flags on the play. Irv Mulligan with the catch.
Irv Mulligan just got a chance to get behind the defense on the play action. The linebacker bit for that play action and for just a few seconds, and that was enough time for McCoy to connect on the throw.
And here is McCoy across the 40. tackled by Horatio Johnson.
McCoy trying to show us some of those running skills that he has, and reasons why T.C. Taylor probably gave him the nod to be the starter today.
You know, Irv Mulligan really is labeled as a running back, but coming out of the backfield has great hands, and Jackson State in Southern territory in their first drive. 2nd down and 7. McCoy looking and caught. Fort Leen all the way down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. 1st down, Jackson.
So for Jackson right there, the receiver just got right there in the flats, got in that area where it's between 2 defenders, and then the Southern University defender falls down, so that gives him an opportunity to get more yards in that situation. Now Jackson's got it in the red zone.
1st down and 10, and flags on the play. So while we have this opportunity, let's get the call from the official. It's going to be a timeout charge to Southern. Early timeout by the Jags. 2nd down and 7 here inside the red zone for Jackson State. And we'll keep it right here. This is really some territory that Coach Gray said didn't want to be in. He wanted to make sure that this team started fast.
Absolutely. He wanted to make sure the team started fast, and also he wanted the defense to make an impact. And right now, they've allowed Jackson State to go right down the field against them, getting down into the red zone. So for sure, this timeout was called to try to prevent and stop some momentum for the Jackson State Tigers. And, you know, sometimes you just need that little quick extra wake-up call, and that's for sure what Coach Terrence Graves is probably doing right there.
And he said during our conference call this week that he does not mind calling people to the sideline and tell them, hey, you got to get things together.
Target fan 401.
Jackson State with the ball. 1st down and 10. McCoy up top. And it's going to be incomplete. Great coverage by the Jags.
Definitely great coverage by the defensive backs of Southern University, basically getting over the top of the receiver, not allowing him to get that good position to actually catch the ball in the end zone and setting up 2nd down.
Jackson State now come to the line trying to get things together here on 2nd down.
There's Isaiah Spencer going in motion.
Here's the give. Wow, what a run. Still on his feet past the 10-yard line. Martin on the carry as his helmet comes down. And now let's take a look at today's Impact Players, brought to you by GM.
For Southern University, it is Dalvin Cotton. The reason why we say that is because so much is going to be put on Kelby Gibbons that the other defensive end, who's the book end of this defense, is going to have to come up and make some plays for them. On the other side is Isaiah Spencer. Coach T.C. Taylor said that this guy's like lightning in a bottle, so they want to get him the ball as many times as they can because he creates a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses.
And now Jackson State will take a timeout here. So both teams have taken an early timeout. And so we will take one as well here in the capital city, Jackson, Mississippi. No score here in Jackson. Jackson, no score. Jackson threatening right now. And there you see the original McNair for Southern University. Fred McNair has come over to help coach with head coach Terrence Graves.
Coach Graves told us that the addition of Coach Fred McNair, the original Eric McNair, has been a godsend primarily because he understands the situation of being a head coach, and he can help Coach Graves out in any way, shape, or form.
Coach Graves talked about the experience that he has on his coaching staff. Here is McCoy. Shot nearly picked off by Southern University. West nearly was able to get that ball. And if he would have taken that ball, he would have been going the other way.
Absolutely. McCoy gets pressured there, and West is probably kicking himself because he knows for sure he has space and opportunity in front of him, probably a pick six and giving Southern an early lead. Instead, Jackson State lives again to get an opportunity to at least put 3 points on the board now.
West, 6'1" junior from Albany, Georgia, has a pass breakup this season, and now a field goal opportunity for Jackson State. Beza with the kick. It's up, and it is good. He is now 4 for 4 on the season. And Jackson State on the board first, 3-0 here in the capital city.
Of course, we knew special teams was going to also play a major role into this game. For Southern University, we saw what happened to them a few weeks ago against McNeese State. Special teams really hurt them in that loss, while Jackson State, they've kind of been pretty pure when it comes to their special teams attempts. But at the same time, in a game like this that will probably be close and contested, you'll take any single point you can.
That drop for Jackson State, 8 plays, 58 yards, taking 2 minutes and 19 seconds off the clock. A field goal by Beza. He is now perfect still on the season, 4 for 4. And Jackson taking their first drive and getting 3. But if you're head coach Terrence Graves, could you consider this a little bit of a win considering the momentum that they had starting this drive?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every single play until the last 2 plays for the Jackson State offense, what yielded positive yards, Santoria. So for them to literally come up with the overthrown pass and then the should have been interception and only come away with 3 points. Yeah, Coach Graves' company are patting themselves on the back with that one. But the defense knows for sure they've got to come back out in response the next time that Jackson State gets the ball and hopefully get them on a stop.
Jalen Ballard will kick off now for Jackson State University. And he will get this one. It'll go inside the 5, taken at the goal line. Out to the 10. Big run by Kirkwood. And it'll be a first down for Southern University.
So for Southern, we're going to get a chance to see our first look at Mr. Zay T-Set. Came off the bench last week to lead Southern University to a victory. He is a homegrown native. When we talk about homegrown, he's from Scotlandville. What community is Southern University located in? Scotlandville. So this guy has been knowing about Southern University football for a long time. Talked to Eric Randall early in the week. He said this young man, by far, is a student of the game, and all he's going to do is get better over time.
Hey, Coach Terrence Graves said in his press conference that no matter if you yell at T-Set or if you just talk to him, he remains the same, just an even-keel type of player. And he says that's what you need in a quarterback, someone that's steady. T-Set, first down and 10. The left-hander gets it out to the sideline and out to Chandler Whitfield, the senior from Zachary, Louisiana.
Whitfield, Louisiana Monroe transfer, one of the senior leaders on this squad. Actually already got his degree. Best thing about him, apparently, like he's the best impersonator on this team, including his impersonation of one Coach Terrence Graves.
He says he does have the team cracking up, and we'll put him on the team chat. T-Set once again with the throw, complete. And once again, Chandler Whitfield with the catch.
Yeah, on that play right there, what Southern did was they ran off their outside receivers, and that created a huge gap in the middle. And Whitfield just sat right there and was like, hey, give me the ball. And that's exactly what happened. Big play right there for Southern University to move the sticks.
Great protection by the guys up front. Whitfield is the player in motion. And here is the give. And Jackson there to stuff the play. And let's take a look at our impact players presented by our good presenters, our sponsors, GM.
All right, for Southern University, it's Chandler Whitfield, who is already making an early impact for the Southern University Jaguars, not only on offense, but also keeping an eye on him on special teams. On the defense, it's one of those great linebackers, Aston Taylor, a former walk-on who is now on scholarship. You can literally find this guy around the ball on every single play, and if he isn't around the ball, Coach T.C. Taylor said he's not doing his job.
Day Bright is shadowing Chandler Whitfield, and there's a flag on the play. And it's going to be charged to Southern. Southern averaging 83 yards in penalties a game. And now they'll back up 5 yards, and this is not what head coach Terrence Graves wants to see.
Not at all. First form of any version of them going backwards.
And now more flags on the play as Jackson State University shifts on defense. Southern ends up moving once again, backing them up 5 more yards, and head coach Terrence Graves is talking with the line judge and telling him that it was Jackson that moved first, and it was not Southern University.
Yeah, those pre-snap penalties are now hurting Southern because they go from second and short to now second and long. 2 plays to make up that yardage, so let's see what offensive coordinator Mark Frederick dials up for the Jaguars.
And Coach Graves is fired up, and now it looks like he's going over to have a couple of words with the official, talking with him.
Correct. Coach Graves, maybe only in his first year as a head coach, but he's got a lot of SWAC hours, a longtime assistant under Coach Pete Richardson at Southern University, also on those Grambling teams under Coach Broderick Fobbs as well.
There's another coach that he's known for a while that he brought over is head coach Everett Todd. Here is T-Set across the 30 and brought out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. And it'll still be a long situation, 3rd and about 12.
It's a good play right there by T-Set. He could not find anyone open, so he went ahead and took off and then got out of bounds as quickly as he could. But his helmet came off, so he's got to go out for at least 1 play.
And Noah Bodden, the 6'4 junior from Valley Stream, New York, will come out onto the field. Noah Bodden, no stranger to the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And now Jackson State, because of that change, they are able to change out personnel on defense.
Looks like Jackson State's going to go with about a cover 6 here. Bodden's going to throw it underneath.
It's caught, and Jackson State doing a great job covering the football at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, the tight coverage by Jackson State across the board just didn't really allow Noah Bodden to make a big play on that one. Instead, he had to just dump it off to his receiver. Didn't pick up a lot of yards and a forced 4th down.
And now Southern University will punt the football. Kenny Pham will come on for the punting duties for the Jags. He's had 9 punts this year, averaging about 35 yards a punt. Isaiah Spencer is back deep for Jackson State University. And Travis Terrell. This one is a fair catch at the 28-yard line. And it'll be a 1st down and 10 when we return to the Mississippi Veterans Stadium here in Jackson.
Why not? Let's see. Hey. I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
When you need a tool that does it all, you need Tostitos restaurant style. Optimized for versatility, Tostitos can tackle every snack, big or small. From late-night nachos to tortilla chip towers, you need a chip in your snack box that gives a great bite every time. Get Tostitos. Get the ultimate snacking experience. Because if you're going to do something, do it right. Tostitos restaurant style. Made for snacking.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
The SWAC, the premier athletic conference in the nation. A collection of schools rich in tradition, pride, and pedigree. Sacrifice, winning, allegiance, champions. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Here are the SWAC standings, brought to you by our good friends at GM.
So as you take a look at everything, really, only two teams have played a SWAC game, and that was the Labor Day Classic between Texas Southern and Prairie View. Coach Chris Dishman coming out with a victory for his Tigers. But as you look at the rest of the way, Florida A&M, the only team with 2 wins on the season, followed by a bunch of teams with 1 victory as we are in now week 3.
Valley, Bethune-Cookman, and Alcorn still searching for their first wins of the season. Of course, Alcorn played 2 money games, and so they're looking for win number 1 this week. Jackson State with the University with the ball now. Cam escaped pressure. Cam in the open field and in, I should say, to about the 49-yard line. Let's see where the head linesman marks him down at the 48-yard line. And that's going to be Horatio Johnson with the tackle.
This is what Coach T.C. Taylor was talking about when describing Cam McCoy. He just has a special skill set that no other quarterback has on this football team. He literally saw nothing and then literally took off. And he's one of the fastest guys, not only on the team, but Coach Taylor said he's one of the fastest guys in the entire Southwestern Athletic Conference. But he's going to have to come off right now because as he goes down to the ground, looks like he may have, he hits his head going down. So they'll probably take him to the tent real quick to go ahead and just check him out because it's all about player safety at the end of the day.
So he will go to the tent, and that means that we will have a quarterback change now for Jackson State University. Jacobian Morgan, 6'4", 225 junior from Canton, Mississippi. Jackson State nearly lost the ball, recovers at about the 46-yard line.
Absolutely. The Southern University defense coming up with a big stop right there. That's big Willie Miles, 350 pounds. Busting through the line and coming up with a 2-yard stop, tackle for a loss to put Jackson State behind the 6th.
That is a lot of dude, 5'9", 350. And to be able to move like that, impressive. 4 receivers now for Morgan. And great defense once again, pass complete. That's going out to number 11, Isaiah Spencer.
Isaiah Spencer, the guy that they said they want to get the ball to a lot, but right then and there for the Southern University Jaguars, it was number 7, and that is done. Well, no, that was Joshua Tate coming up with a big stick right there across the middle. 3rd down now for Jackson.
And a long 3rd down. You see Southern University showing blitz. Here come the Jags. The pass is complete. That's out to J.D. Martin. Martin into Southern territory down to the 26-yard line. That's a 1st down, Jackson.
Jacoby and Martin getting over to Martin right there in the flats. And look, he is wide open, nothing but space and the opportunity. Makes a man miss, and after that, he almost gets away with it, but he is deep inside of Southern University territory.
J.D. Martin from Wetumpka, Alabama, getting Jackson State 1st down. You see Jacoby and Morgan leading this team on offense as McCoy still on the sideline. The give to Martin around the edge inside the 25. And the head linesman will say he's down at the 20-yard line.
So that's Martin with back-to-back touches, first in the passing attack and then on the rushing attack, going on the left side, feasting off of that outside containment that was not held by Southern University to pick up about 5 yards on the play.
Jacoby and Morgan, the Syracuse transfer, in the shotgun. He'll throw. Toss is incomplete.
This pass for Morgan, incomplete.
It's like Fortillion was the intended receiver. He's got 2 touchdowns on the season.
There's a little contact right here between the J-State receiver and Eric Reed Jr., but good position really by the defensive back, and then the Jackson State guy could not make the adjustment to make the catch. Brings up 3rd down.
Third down and a little bit more manageable. Morgan, complete.
This pass complete.
I think he's
And
right
that's
at the sticks.
it's going to be McCray with the catch.
And McCray comes up a little gimpy following that catch right there, but he does give his team a 1st down inside the red zone.
So Jackson State using a variety of receivers early on here in this ball game. A beautiful night for football here in Jackson. Not too warm, a little bit muggy, but not too bad outside. And here's Morgan with the give. Down inside the 5-yard line.
Morgan continues to just churn his feet and churn his feet and churn his feet. Luckily for Southern, it was Jamarius Brown that was able to grab onto him right there, or he would have been walking into the end zone.
Irv Mulligan on the carry. And here is the give to Mulligan. Mulligan fights, and he will be inside the 2 to about the 1-yard line.
To the 1-yard line.
Jackson State, the offensive line, they are just moving this defensive line of Southern University just out of the way as they pick up more yards and get closer to the end zone.
Kirk Ford Jr. from Keller, Texas, the 6'5", 308-pound senior with a huge push. And here's a give once again to Irv Mulligan. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Mulligan had nowhere to go on that one. On that play, the defensive tackles both dived down, and then the defensive end was able to make a little containment tackle right there. So now, 3rd down and goal for Jackson State.
10th play of the drive coming up. And there's a timeout on the field.
We got an injured Jaguar on the play. Looks like somewhere in the knee leg area. Maybe cramps. It is that time of the year, Santori.
Davin Cotton, the 6'3", 285-pound senior from Shreveport, who has 5 tackles so far coming into the ball game, is the injured Jaguar on the field.
And Cotton was one of those impact players that we were talking about. Of course, you know, he is one of the bookends on this defensive line. A very, very seasoned player for Southern University. This is his 41st career start. He's got 125 tackles throughout his career.
And there you see leading the charge coming back out off the field, Dr. Jessica Robinson, the head trainer for Southern University, has cut her teeth in the SWAC. Been at a variety of universities and studying under the late Dr. Richard Ballard, who was longtime team doctor under head coach Eddie Robinson at Grambling State University. And Dr. Robinson said, boy, he was a great mentor. Here is the give, and it's a touchdown. Jackson State University, J.D. Martin. The 6'1" senior gets into the end zone.
J.D. Martin was initially met before the goal line, but he kept churning his legs, and eventually it was J.D. Martin that wins the battle to get in the end zone and put his team up by 2 scores.
That's his first touchdown of the season, and now Jackson State on for the extra point. Gerald Beza, who's 9 for 9 on the season. The kick is up, and it's good. Make it 10 for 10. And Jackson State now has opened up a 10-0 lead after the touchdown run by J.D. Martin. 10 plays, 72 yards on this play. Bo, I tell you what, great payoff on the running game for Jackson State. brought to you by Pepsi, the official partner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and by GM, proud sponsor of the SWAC. Well, there's someone that Jackson State University fans will know about. That is the late, great Walter Payton, who, of course, graduated from here at Jackson State University. He played for the Chicago Bears and would come to train here at Jackson State during the offseason. As a matter of fact, he would invite some of his teammates from the Chicago Bears to come to Jackson to train. And when they found out what he did, including running the stairs right here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, they said, we're not coming back here because you train way too hard.
Absolutely. Well, at the end of the day, that's why Walter Payton is considered one of the greatest of all time. Not just a great HBCU player, but also a Pro Football Hall of Famer who went on to, of course, win a championship with those Chicago Bears.
Kickoff for Jackson and received by Southern. Chandler Whitfield on the return. Oh, he is hit hard. Wow. And not showing any love, Jackson State University's Brandon Mitchell, the 6'3" freshman from Memphis, Tennessee, on the hit. Edmonds.
Big stick right there by Edmonds. As Chandler Whitfield was spinning out of a tackle, Edmonds was ready to not only scoop him up, but throw him down on the ground.
Edmonds, as a matter of fact, went to Delaware Military Academy before going to Bryan's College and then transferring here.
Coach T.C. Taylor, he's got a number of transfers on this team. Of course, at the end of the day, it's all about just trying to just get the best guys to mesh to win and also build a championship program.
First down and 10 now. And we see T-Set back on the field, and he's hit again and then gets the ball out to his receiver. And that's going to be, looks like Morris on the reception. Smith nails him hard. Boy, T-Set is taking a punishment.
Absolutely, like T-Set took a shot right here. I know he was trying to really throw it away. If you're the running back, you kind of got to drop that ball at that point in time because I know he saw the defender coming. Instead, you make the catch, but also you lose 3 yards in the process.
Second down now. T-Set takes off. T-Set will take a slide safe at about the 31-yard line.
This is the dynamic that T-Set brings to the offense that Noah Biden really didn't have as much. He doesn't see anything, finds an open in the hole, and then just takes off and then slides down and gets Southern in a third and manageable coming up for the Jaguars.
T-Set dangerous with his arm and his legs. And when you look at what he did last week when he came in, second half, especially with Savannah State, Coach Graves said, T-Set he earned his position. He earned the right to start. Timeout on the field. And it's going to be a timeout taken by Southern, second one of the first quarter.
I'm taking that Coach Graves or someone on his offensive staff did not like the way that their offensive scheme was stacking up against Jackson State, so they want to talk about it just for a minute. Very, very important third down coming up. If anything, for Southern, you got to sustain this drive and find a way to get some points because if you get the ball back over to Jackson and Jackson scores again, we're looking at a 3-score game in the early portions of this contest, and we haven't even finished the first quarter yet, Santoria. Speaking of legends, T-Set talking to Coach Willie Todd, another legend who threw a whole lot of passes in the state of Mississippi, including a great game between Mississippi Valley and Alcorn State in this very venue, 1984.
Third down and about 6. Now Jackson State showing blitz. T-Set with the option. And he gets it to Kendrick Grimes, the sophomore from Houston.
Grimes just ran out of real estate on that one. Jackson sent 7 guys on the play, and good way for T-Set to really check out of it in that scenario is just the fact that maybe you should have done it on the far side of the field where you had a little bit more of an advantage. Instead, Southern's now going to be forced to punt, and Jackson State's going to get the ball back with an opportunity to potentially go up by 3 scores, as we talked about just now.
Travis Terrell back deep for Jackson State, and Isaiah Spencer as well. Kenny Pham on to kick for Southern. Pham gets this one away, and it lands into the hands of Isaiah Spencer. Spencer tackled at the 40-yard line, and that will bring up a first down for Jackson State.
Great tackle right there by Luke Rose, the senior from out of Ocala, Florida, getting his hands on Spencer. Of course, that's not an easy task to do. As we talked to Coach Taylor earlier in the week, he says Spencer is lightning in the battle, and most one-on-one matchups, you're not going to win against him. So, great special teams tackle by Southern. Jackson State will have the ball right outside their own 40-yard line, moving from left to right on the video screen.
And we see Morgan still in the ball game for Jackson State. Remember, McCoy came out after getting a little bit of a concussion, and here's a nice little pitch out. That's Irv Mulligan, and he gets beyond the 45-yard line to the 47, and that brings up second down and short.
Mulligan is coming into his own already in this game. You know, didn't have the greatest games in the first couple of contests, but definitely he's doing well today against this Jaguar defense.
Some great blocking up front. And that time, right to the line of scrimmage. That's all Jackson State University gets. Irv Mulligan, no gain on the play.
Absolutely. Irv Mulligan was introduced to Mr. Kelby Givens on that play, the preseason SWAC Player of the Year, not letting him go any further than what he did. 30 short now coming up for Jackson State.
Jackson State 3 of 4 on third downs. Morgan, nice handoff. Out in the open field, J.D. Martin, and he gets the first down. Horatio Johnson on the tackle for the Jaguars.
As we take a look at this, initially there was contact in the backfield, but then after that he was able to get out of those arm tackles, get out of a few other arm tackles, pick up first down. Now Jackson State is in Southern University territory as we get ready to end the first quarter.
Jackson State in the first quarter, 4 for 5 on third downs. That's pretty good efficiency. Got to be happy about that if you're head coach T.C. Taylor. Jackson State University on top, going to the second. We get ready to go into the second quarter. Jackson State University on top 10-0, and there you see all the preseason honors for Kelby Givens, the native of Shreveport, Louisiana.
Absolutely. On top of the SWAC Defensive Preseason Player of the Year, he is also a preseason All-American by a number of publishing awards, the honor list. Also, Black College Football Hall of Fame Player of the Year nominee as well for the Deacon Jones Award. He's a pretty good defensive player too, right, Santori?
Wasn't too bad. Here's Morgan here on first down. It's complete.
This first down pass.
And that's going to go out to Kobe Paul.
Kobe Paul with the catch.
Kobe Paul has 5 catches this year, 41 yards and a touchdown coming into this ball game.
Kobe Paul just ran right off the line, just sat right there in an open spot of the defense like, hey, throw me the ball. Here I am. And then they're moving the marker for second and short.
All kinds of movement for Jackson State. Morgan, nice pass, wide open to the tight end, Marvin Landy, his second touchdown of the season.
With all the motion and all the movement, the Southern University defense was definitely caught looking in the backfield, and it made it easy for the play-action pass to work for Jacoby and Morgan to get it over to his big tight end.
Well, adding insult to injury after the first quarter, Jackson State University had 151 total yards, Southern University 36, and now Jackson State starts the second quarter with 6 on the board to their tight end.
Absolutely, and as we mentioned, this was going to be a key drive for Southern University to try to stop Jackson State from getting on top by 3 possessions. Did not go the way of the Jaguars, but it's definitely in the way of the Tigers, and now they're on top.
Jackson State extends their lead, 16-0. Here is the touchdown, wide open to Landy. 6 on the board for JSU.
Fun, memories, friendship. We're here for all of it. Here for the big moments and the small ones too. We're here for unforgettable triumph, momentary misfortune, and the impromptu throwdown. We're out here each day, chasing something great. Call it adventure, call it play, we call it fun. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
The future starts today. With 34 undergraduate programs and 22 graduate programs, finding your career path is within your reach at Southern University and A&M College. The best way to a successful future is to invest in it through an affordable education at Southern University. Southern University is growing in order to lead you to a bright future. Start your future here at Southern University and A&M College.
Since 1877, Jackson State University has been training students for a life of service and leadership to impact our global society. Ranked among the best HBCUs in the country, Jackson State University offers 47 undergraduate, 37 master's, 1 specialist, and 13 doctoral degree programs. Whether you're interested in the arts, education, public health, the sciences, or business, we're here to take you from ready to JSU ready. Visit jsums.edu and apply today.
Today's SWAC news and notes are brought to you by GM. And we start off with, of course, the co-newcomers of the week, McCoy and T-Set. McCoy not in the game right now. Of course, he's still out. T-Set from Southern started the ball game off. So both those guys co-newcomers of the week.
Absolutely. They had outstanding games last week against Lane and Savannah State from the SIAC, respectively. And then we got a third player playing in this game today. That's Joshua Griffin, the kicker from Southern University.
Yeah, he was 3 for 4 on field goals. He had a 49-yard field goal. 3 3 of 3 of PATs, and then of Offensive and Defensive Players of the Week, Miles Crawley from Grambling, and someone that we saw last week, Traquan Thomas from Alabama State.
Traquan Thomas and that Alabama State defense ripped apart Miles College last week in a very physical affair. We know the Alabama State offense did well on the rushing attack, but you got to give kudos to their defense for holding Miles College under 200 total yards for a majority of the game.
And here is the kick. This one is going to go over the head of the return man.
Ballard's kick is a touchback.
It's a touchback, and Southern University will have the football.
So, Santori, we were talking about McCoy. I'm looking at him right now. He is on the sideline warming up and just throwing passes. Don't know if he'll return to the game right now, but it is a good sign to see that he is at least, not in the tent anymore.
Yeah, and T-Set will come back onto the field for Southern University.
I mean, if you're T-Set and the Southern University offense, you've got to find a way to have some sort of fire lit, because now you're down by 3 scores, and they've just got to find a way to convert on third down for sure.
And there's a good start if you're Southern University. And boy, it goes right into one of the Southern coaches who's slow to get up. And on the catch was Quay Davis, the senior from Dallas, Texas. He transferred, as a matter of fact, from Texas Southern University.
And if I'm not mistaken, Quay Davis started here at Jackson State, as a matter of fact. Was one of the key pieces under those JSU Tigers, led by then head coach Deion Sanders.
First down for Southern University. Quay Davis taking out one of his own coaches. They'll have to have a talk about that on Monday. Here's T-Set. Throws complete. And Fuller on the reception. Fuller came into the game, 7 catches, 90 yards, had a touchdown this year.
Fuller is their top tight end, and that's one thing that Coach Graves said they want to utilize in this offense is more of tight ends. Now, of course, he probably is more like a wide receiver in a tight end's body, but he's very physical, great hands, and of course, he's a guy that can make plays across the middle and get those big catches.
6'3", 225, lanky kid. And now it's second down and about 5 here for Southern. T-Set throws complete. And Chandler Whitfield with the catch for Southern. Ashton Taylor, the linebacker, on the force out. And it's third down and short.
So what T-Set is really doing, he's taking what this Jackson State defense is giving him, and a lot of that is just the throws that are either underneath or just going across the middle. They've done a really good job with that. Now this is a very important third down. Southern has not converted a third down all game long, so this is very important coming up for the Jaguars.
And I talked to wide receivers coach Quentin Burrell from Southern University before the game, and he said the biggest thing for our receivers, create separation and make sure that they get the ball in hand before they turn upfield. Here is the give on third down and short. This is going to be close. And it looks like that Southern will pick up the first down.
Very close.
First down.
Yep,
first
they
down.
will give it to him, Santor. He was, that's Kobe Dillon, the young man from Faraday, Louisiana. He was hit in the backfield but kept the legs churning and was able to get just enough to move the chains for Southern. Their first third down conversion of the contest.
Kobe Dillon has rushed 24 times, 84 yards coming into the game, does have a touchdown. And Southern extends their drive. T-Set with the give. Nothing doing on first down. Boy, that front line and front seven, I should say, from Jackson State doing a job.
By John Brown Jr.
So what J-State's defensive line did on that one, the defensive end basically created a pile, and because he created that pile, the man in motion that was supposed to be used as the extra blocker was caught up on that, so Dillon ran right up his back and had nowhere to go and ended up losing about a yard on the play.
Second down, and they'll say 10. They'll say it's forward progress stopped at the line of scrimmage. T-Set throws. Oh, and what a job. Fuller gets nailed, and a big hit On defense for Jackson State, that's going to be Kevin Wiggins, 6 foot senior rather.
Dangerous throw right here by Thiessen. Of course, he had pressure right there in his face, but he's also hanging his wide receiver out to dry, and he's definitely going to feel that one. But also for Jackson State, that's a huge hit because now you're putting Southern in a 3rd and long situation, something that they have not done well so far in this contest.
Corners are head up on the receivers. T-set going down the sideline. Throw is up, and it is it incomplete?
Yes, incomplete.
Great job by Wiggins, the senior from Houston. So not only does he get a big tackle, but he also gets a big breakup.
Yeah, Wiggins once again making the play. Quay Davis, he high points this ball. He's just not able to bring it down. Wiggins able to get an arm in there just at the end. And you see, Quay Davis' reaction like, hey, I had this in my hand, but could not bring it down.
And now Southern University will have to punt the football. Kenny Pham on to kick. Travis Terrell back to receive for Jackson State. This one will come down and will roll inside the 15-yard line. So the special teams for Southern University able to flip the field here just a little bit to give that defense a little bit of room. 16-0. Jackson. Well, Jackson State University up right now because of their rushing game and how they've been able to get the ball out front.
Absolutely. Jackson State has been able to pick up a lot of solid yardage, primarily because they're getting a lot of yards after the contact, like you see right there. And then Southern University is not doing a good job wrapping up. They're getting through a lot of arm tackles, and all of a sudden, Jackson State is getting down the field 3-4 yards in an extra after those arm tackles that are not going down with the Jaguars.
J.D. Martin has had some big yards here. 4 rushes, 27 yards, had a big reception. He's averaging almost 7 yards a rush. Has a touchdown already in the ball game. And now Jackson State's on the move. They've got the ball. And here is Morgan. Takes off with the football, gets it, looks like to his tight end. Oh, that's going to be Logan Mack. First reception of the year from Gilbert, Arizona.
Jacoby and Morgan literally got that ball off at the last second as the Southern University Jaguars got pressure on them. Let's take a look at this, though. Last week, they had 50 yards allowed against Savannah State, already through a quarter and in a few minutes, they've already allowed over 70. Terrence Graves is definitely not excited about that. He won't be excited about this because, once again, Jackson State getting through the arm tackles of Southern University following the fact that the JSU offensive line is blowing Southern University's defensive line off the ball.
Yeah, the buffet busters up front just feeding off of some great blocking. Ford Jr., Towns Blues, Smith Jr., Henry, and James. A lot of beef up front. Really just taking it to Southern University.
3rd and short now coming up. I would not be surprised if Jackson State continues to follow behind those buffet busters. And now we got a free play.
Morgan going deep, looking for a receiver, incomplete. He tried to get it to Logan Mack, and there'll be a flag on the play.
There is a penalty marker.
That's just one of those plays that Morgan knows for sure he has to go ahead and just get off. Southern University appeared to jump in the neutral zone, so all of a sudden, free play, free play, free play. And as you see, Coach Terrence Graves, he knows what's going on. He's yelling out the instructions to his young men about just do better on these plays and understand your situations.
Well, if you're head coach T.C. Taylor, you got to feel good because Cam went down and was taken to the tents. Looked like it was could have been a concussion. He's not back on the field yet, but Morgan has been performing extremely well. To have 2 quarterbacks like that, just incredible.
And, of course, Morgan is a seasoned veteran. He saw a lot of action last year.
That's going to be a personal foul. Oh, it's going to be offsides on Cotton, and there's going to be a personal foul after the play. Are they going to call that? Did they say targeting?
They said they had targeting, so right now they're going to go and take a look at that. And if so.
So Cotton was offsides, and now a targeting call. And let's see who is charged for targeting. That looks like that is going to be Darius Harry, the starting defensive end from New Orleans.
It's close. It really is close. Of course, they're going to take a look at it right there. I mean, for Harry, he's trying to just get a stick on the quarterback just to kind of get something going for this defense because they need some type of pick-me-up. That's just the wrong type of situation to go down in that scenario for the Jags.
And so the official now standing at the 15-yard line talking to the official in the booth as they're going over the replay to determine on whether or not it is a targeting penalty. And we know the rules on targeting. If it is targeting, that means that Darius Harry will be done for the day.
And that would be a huge loss for the Southern University defense if Harry has to check out of the game.
Yeah, because he's got 7 tackles coming into the ball game. 1.5 tackles for a loss and a quarterback hurry. So he is one of the bookends there on defense. Ooh, that is close.
It is very, very close. And, of course, the impact that he has off of the hit makes Morgan's head snap back. So I think that's why they initially called it. It'll just be a matter of do they think there's enough contact to make it happen. We'll find out now.
Great work by our cameraman getting those shots. So it's going to be a personal foul penalty, no targeting on the play, so there wasn't enough there. And now Coach Everett Todd talking to Harry, who's also helping with the defensive line there for Coach Graves, about making sure that he keeps, that he doesn't lead with his shoulder in his head and turn away.
Correct. And of course, Everett Todd is one of those guys who is another former head coach as well that Coach Terrence Graves is leaning on. So there are various guys on this coaching staff that can really, really talk from various aspects of being in a leadership role.
Got a chance to watch Coach Graves work in some of his drills that he had with defensive linemen, and he has a football on a stick, and if your head isn't up, you can't see that football move, and he hits you with the stick.
Yes, sir. I recall seeing some of my teammates get hit with that stick back in the mid-2000s.
Here's a throw by Morgan going deep, incomplete. Pass was intended for Portillion, redshirt sophomore from Orlando. And great job by Xavier Spencer. They're toe for toe with Portillion.
Xavier Spencer in perfect position right there. The main thing is he had to make sure he got over the top of the wide receiver, and that's exactly what he did. Did not allow the JSU wide receiver to get behind him to make a amazing catch on that play.
Here is the give. And that's going to be J.D. Martin, who continues to do things for Jackson State. Comes out of the ball game, a much-needed breather.
Johnson coming up with the shoestring tackle on that play. Now it's going to bring up 3rd down and long. Jags defense, they know and they understand the situation. You're starting to hear the defense, Jags defense chants coming from the Southern University marching band. So they know they've got to get off the field after this play.
Morgan looking. Great job breaking that play up at the last minute. Reed Jr.
Eric Reed Jr. coming in and just batting the ball away, getting it away from the receiver, and coming up with a huge play to get this defense off of the field and possibly getting the Southern University offense good field position to get the ball back in the hands of T-Set. Look at that swat right there. That's how you play text foot defensive back.
One of the keys to the game was for Jackson State was to really wear down that defense for Southern University. So what a great opportunity there for the defense to get off the field.
Yes, sir. Now special teams. Can Southern make something happen? Chandler Whitfield sitting back.
And Whitfield says just get away from it. It goes out of bounds inside the 30. Let's see where the head linesman, should say the side judge, goes to about the 24-yard line. And so Noel with a great kick. And Southern's offense back onto the field.
For 15 years, the Home Depot Retool Your School program has been championing HBCUs. We've been right there with campus grants, scholarships, and career opportunities. Winning schools have seen their visions for upgrading their campuses and communities come to life through sustainability projects, as well as new places to connect, like innovation lounges and outdoor pavilions. As we celebrate 15 years of partnering with HBCUs, we're excited to keep the momentum going. Retool your school. We're powered by purpose.
Let's unretire. Why not? Let's see. Hey. I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
When it looks different, feels different, it's because Tostitos Scoops taste different. At the intersection of innovation and an invitation to dip, Scoops give you more of what you love and doesn't apologize for it. Designed to be delicious. Designed to take on any life throws at you. Tostitos Scoops, designed to dip.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
There you see the human jukebox entertaining the crowd, and there'll be an exciting halftime coming up. 16-0 our score. Jackson State on top, and now Southern University with the football, trying to get a drive and possibly score down here in this first half. T-set throws out of the reach of the receiver. Chandler Whitfield was the intended receiver for Southern University. Whitfield, 3 catches, 22 yards so far in the ballgame. He's been targeted 3 times, now 4.
On that play right there, Southern University went with a 5-wide look with a tight end. Jackson State went ahead and just threw the house. So T-set literally had 2 seconds to get that ball away, and he ends up throwing it out of bounds.
Head coach Terrence Graves said he fought for T-set because not only is T-set a left-hander, but so is Coach Graves. He says, got to fight for the lefties. And T-set, the lefty, takes off with the football. Throws incomplete. Pass was intended for Cameron Jackson, the 6'6" junior from Shreveport.
Jackson just out of the reach to get that ball, and he looks like he's a little gimpy getting up too. Looks like like he slid a little awkwardly on his home sideline.
That'll bring up third down once again here for Southern University. Southern is 1 for 4 in the ball game on third downs.
And of course, they converted the first third down just on their last drive. So Southern wants to remain in this game. They've got to get something going. Jackson State knows for sure they can pin their ears back and throw all the pressure in the world, like T said, but it looks like they're getting ready to do on this upcoming play.
Doesn't get easier for either of these teams next week. Jackson goes to Grambling, Southern goes to Prairie View. And T-Set goes down. Joshua Nobles, the 6'4" redshirt junior from Camden, New Jersey, with the sack. And T-Set is down again.
Nobles just came around the right side of that defensive line and whipped the left tackle and pulled up a sack. And T-Set still has not got up yet. This is not a good sign if you're a Southern Jaguar fan.
And so T-Set, for the second time in this ball game, down on the field. Well, and I tell you what, he is giving this team trying to give this team a little bit of a boost. The redshirt freshman from Baton Rouge. And now you got a couple of the team doctors on the field now. And here comes Coach Graves calling his offense over to the sideline, and he will come check on the freshman.
Yeah, Coach Graves is over there with his team right there. And as we look near the 20-yard line, there's Coach Graves and the quarterback's coach, Coach Willie Totten, checking on T-Set to make sure he's A-OK. Of course, T-Set getting his first true start today. He's up on his feet, but he's going to need some help off the field.
Look at it one more time.
Yeah, Jackson State's defensive end just bum rushes the left tackle and just comes up and takes him down near the ankles. Trying to see, did he get rolled up?
Fans, if you like what that Tiger defense is showing you.
That's exactly what happened.
He got rolled up on the tackle. That's one of those bang-bang plays right there. Unfortunate for T-Set. Hope he's all right. But at the same time, if you're Southern now, your starting quarterback who provided a great spark for you last week is now out. And you're punting to Jackson State with an opportunity for them now to get good field position. And look at this.
Kenny Pham gets the kick away, and returning for Jackson State. Looked like that was number 2, Dupree. We'll check that again, yeah. Dupree on the return.
Well, clearly, he caught the ball in the center of everybody. There was no Peter call.
And you can see the coaches over there talking to Dupree and saying, hey, man, everybody's got to talk because that was really close.
Absolutely. It was really, really close. Southern had 3 guys around him, but clearly there was no call for a fair catch, so they were in perfect position to get a tackle. Instead, Jackson State's able to pick up additional yards and now has it 1st and 10 in Southern University territory again.
Well, if you're the defense for Southern, this is not what you wanted to face in this drive. Here's the give. And that's going to be Irv Mulligan.
And Mulligan made a beeline for the Southern University defender and literally just ran him over. If he's able to put his hand on the ground and then keep his balance, he's probably still running on that play. So Southern, you're lucky that if you're Southern, you're lucky that that play did not result in more.
Another handoff here, and this time Mulligan gets to about the 31-yard line. And this is exactly what Coach T.C. Taylor talked about, being physical up front. That was going to be the key.
Correct. He broke 2 tackles before he was able to be taken down, but those 2 tackles were arm tackles.
And once again, Mulligan Now to about the 27-yard line, the first down, Jackson State.
Jackson State just running the ball down the throat of the Southern University defensive line. It's going big on big, and they just want to be physical up front. And right now, the Buffet Busters of Jackson State are definitely winning that contest.
Yeah, they are giving all the selections on the buffet to Southern that they want here. Because, I mean, they are really doing a great job up front. Almitris Smith Jr., the junior from Clarksdale, Mississippi, the center, coming off the field, kind of pumped up because that front line has really done a great job. And you can tell the one thing that Coach Taylor spoke about in his press conference earlier in the week, controlling the A-gaps. And when you control the A-gap between the guard and the guard, it makes things a lot more difficult for Southern.
Absolutely. And as you look right now, look at the demeanor of the Jackson State guys. They're cool, they're calm, they're collective. They understand what's going on, and they have yielded positive results. As you look on the other side with Southern University, a lot of yelling going on. Coach Graves and also the other defensive staff coaches, they're literally telling the guys like, hey, get into this game. Do something to really, really make a difference in this contest before they fall behind even further.
Give yourselves a round of applause.
It's literally night and day on both sidelines. And even when you look at the fans for Southern University, they're sitting on their hands right now.
First down and 10. Sometimes a timeout can make a difference. We'll see what happens here. Morgan hands it off once again. J.D. Martin on the carry. Boy, and he's been a difference maker today.
Martin with the carry.
Not a big gain here, and that's a win for Southern.
Stop for Southern.
And that'll bring up second down.
Absolutely. And this time, Southern was able to get the tackle on first contact. That's one of the rare times we've actually seen that happen in this game, especially in the first half. You just can't grab at folks. You got to wrap up. And I'm sure that's something Coach Graves has been telling his guys on the opposite sideline.
Morgan going deep, looking incomplete.
Morgan's pass, incomplete.
Broken up by Horatio Johnson.
Trying to get the ball over to Isaiah Spencer. He had a step on the Southern University defensive back. However, Spencer and Morgan just not on the same page on that one. Brings up third down now, and a huge third down for both teams. We've talked about why it is for Southern University. For Jackson State, it's just a matter of just increasing their lead and then continuing the momentum flow as they situate themselves about 6 minutes away from halftime. JD
in motion and toss out in front, way too far out in front. It goes out of bounds, and it's incomplete.
Incomplete pass definitely serves up as a win for the Southern defense. Now I think it's a matter of, if you're TC Taylor, do you bring your field goal unit out, or do you go ahead and just go gamble and try to pick up the first down? Nope, never mind. They're not gambling. They're definitely rolling with the field goal and going to try to take the points.
Beza, his long is 35 yards this year. It's a 43-yard field goal attempt.
Beza on to attempt a field goal of 44 yards.
Make it 44 yards now. Looks like that the holder is going to snap it just inside the 34-yard line. Snap, the hold is down, the kick is up. Beza now has it's missed. Beza missed this field goal.
It certainly had the distance. He just couldn't get the accuracy on that one. So for Jackson State, you don't come away with any points. So for Southern, you're having a sigh of relief because now you have an opportunity to cut into this lead. And at this point in time, especially with 5:40 to go, Jaguars need to get a touchdown to kind of get themselves back into this game, while Jackson State, they want to get another stop so they can roll with the momentum into the locker room and then have all the fans happy as the Sonic Boom of the South will be taking the field shortly.
Beza missed his first PAT earlier in the game. Now he missed his first field goal of the season. Here is the give. Southern University now back on offense. And it'll be Noah Bodden in the ball game. And we'll see what happens with a T-set on whether or not he will be back in the ball game.
Of course, Noah Biden was the starter at the beginning of the season. He got a big win last year in the Bayou Classic against his former team, Grambling State. But he has struggled early on in the season. But right now is that opportunity for him to really make up for whatever he does. But, oh, here comes the pressure.
And the pocket collapsed, and Biden goes down.
With the sack for the Tigers.
Nobles gets the sack for Jackson State. And it's 3rd down and long now for Southern.
So think about it like this. Nobles, in his last 3 plays, has 2 sacks on 2 different quarterbacks. Nobles just whips the left tackle once again, wraps him up, and throws him down. Just to let him know, hey, I'm here.
3rd down and long now for Southern University. And here's a delayed give out to about the 24-yard line. Gain of a couple of yards on the play. True Thompson on the tackle for Jackson State. The 6'1", 281-pound junior from Grayson, Georgia, came into the game with 8 tackles.
Nothing doing on that drive right there for Southern University. Of course, True Thompson, another one of those defensive linemen who is making a solid performance today on that defensive line. But, hey, if you're the Jackson State defense, you're going to get the ball back for that offense and have an opportunity to put points on the board with less than 4 to go.
Southern University with just 48 yards, total yards in the ball game, 8 yards rushing. And here is a kick. This one is high, and it will hit at midfield and will roll dead at the 48-yard line. And that is where Jackson State will start this possession. Another great start here for Jackson State. Great field position, I should say, at the 48-yard line.
Correct. So, look, we're taking a look right here. I just see McCoy right there to the left. He's clapping his hand. He doesn't have his helmet on, so we don't know if he's probably not coming back into the game. But he's cheering on his offensive mates, kind of letting them know, like, hey, we got your foot on the neck of the opposition. Let's keep driving and let's keep rolling to basically, take the win out of the sail for the Jaguars.
Now, for Southern University, you can really say that they had a win that last defensive stand that they had off of that missed field goal. So Jackson didn't score any points there. And so now they'll have to answer the call once again. A little bit of a shorter field at the 48-yard line. Here is the pitch out. 40. And out of bounds. And that is going to be Travis Terrell on the run, and a flag on the play. Flag is right around the 37-yard line. Or make that the 32-yard line.
Jackson State had this dialed up well. They got outside containment, hooking the defensive end, and then nothing but space and a lot of opportunity around that left side. Now, interesting thing, we saw a flag fly and we saw a hat go too. It wasn't a passing play, so we know for sure that that could be an extracurricular when it comes to the penalty.
Possibly hit out of bounds.
We got some NC Jackson State fans right below our broadcast booth.
A few, yep.
Chatting this out to make sure they get every single piece of this ruling correct.
Well, if you are Southern, you hope it's not against you. Holding on Jackson State. So that's going to be a hold and a personal foul against Jackson State.
2 huge penalties against the Tigers.
That's basically 25 yards in penalties.
I mean, Santori, I was with you. I thought there was definitely a late hit out of bounds because we literally saw Coach T.C. Taylor run up to the 2 players who were engaged to kind of just separate them before things got worse. Now, I mentioned that how the Southern Jaguars lost the outside containment, but as we just took a look at something, there was a little hold around there, and I didn't see that flag come up, but apparently they were able to catch that as well. Because the Southern University defender like, hey, man, he's holding me, he's holding me, he's holding me.
Coach Graves had a couple of questions for one of the officials. So it's going to be face mask against. All right, so we had a face mask and a personal foul here. There's a face mask by Southern. There's a late hit. That late hit was by Kirk Ford Jr., the left tackle.
And we see Coach T.C. Taylor showing he's still got his full force speed running down the sideline to make sure that he separates the players.
So basically, what does that mean? It's offset, do it all over again.
Absolutely. We just saw an action-packed play with a few extracurriculars.
And now, a timeout on the field. Charge to Southern.
It looks like Coach Graves wants to talk it over with our head official. Sorry, I can guarantee you they are not getting ready to talk about what the post-game meal plan is going to be.
No. When you take a look at what Jackson State University has done in rushing the football as they get the ball back at the 32-yard line, there you've got the numbers. Martin, 33 yards on 7 rushes. Smith, 9 carries, 27 yards. Total in the ball game, 113 yards on the ground for Jackson State. Southern with 8.
It's a good balance on the rushing attack for Jackson State. But you know what else that shows you? It shows you that the dominance up front by Jackson State is on another level against the Jags. If you're the Jags defensive line, you've got to be upset and frustrated with the way that you're basically being thrown around by the big uglies and the buffet busters of Jackson State University.
First down and 10. Jackson State trying to add to their lead before halftime. Morgan still on the field. Cam McCoy, of course, went down earlier in the game. Don't know yet if he will return. Run on first down to the 30. Clock continues to tick.
Ahmad Miller on the carry for the
Ahmad Miller on the carry. Plummer on the tackle.
Second down.
T.C. Taylor, of course, he's calling the offensive plays, and right now he just wants to milk this clock and literally get a score before they go into the halftime locker room. I don't think they're going to really, do anything dynamic or crazy, but we'll see.
There's a pitch out. There's the run. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Jackson State University. Ahmad Miller, the 6-foot sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee, gets the 6 on the board for Jackson State.
It's what we've been talking about all game long. Those first missed tackles by the Southern University defenders have become dreadful for the Jaguars. And then once they slip that first tackle, if you're Jackson State 9 times out of 10, you're either picking up positive yards or you're picking up points with a touchdown like there on that play.
So Ahmad Miller with the touchdown, and the extra point try is good.
It's good. With 2:49 to go in the first half of the SWAC Football Classic, your new score, Tigers 23.
Ahmad Miller with a great run, great pitch out here.
If you're the Southern defensive back, you got a one-on-one situation. You have to make that tackle. If you're Jackson State, you've got to make that man miss. What happens? The Jackson State running back makes the guy miss, and after that, it's nothing but space and opportunity in front of him, and he walks into the end zone for a touchdown. It's just all part of this dominant rushing attack that Jackson State has presented in the first half of this game.
And now if you are Southern University, you're under 3 minutes to go here in this first half of play, and now you're down 23-0. And that kind of a touchdown going into the halftime locker room can really be deflating.
Oh, without a doubt, especially since the Southern University offense has really not been able to muster any positive results throughout the day. I mean, clearly, when you look at it just on the third down conversions, they're not doing well. They're 1 of 6 on third down. So literally in all the possessions, they have only been able to pick up 1 first down so far. And here's the other thing, too. You may hear it in the background, a little Frankie Beverly and Mays. This crowd is into it now because Jackson State is on top of their bitter arch rival, Southern University. And if you're the Jaguars, it's going to be tough sledding moving forward with these last 2.5 minutes.
Well, that's the look right there. It's just like, look, you got to get it together.
Exactly.
And so halftime show coming up. And, of course, you spoke about Frankie Beverly passed away this past week, and earlier in the game when we were in a break, the Jackson State University band playing one of the themes from Coming to America, James Earl Jones in that movie, he passed away this past week as well. And so 2 really giants in their industries passing away.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, nobody had a voice like James Earl Jones, so I mean, it was, I appreciated every single thing that he was in from the African-American standpoint, and also every movie that he was doing, every biography that he did. I still remember a movie that my grandmother used to always watch called Bingo Long when he was with Richard Pryor and company, about Negro League baseball. And, of course, he was very iconic. Of course, the King Joffrey Joffer from Coming to America. So, yeah, 2 icons that were lost in James Earl Jones and Frankie Beverly. I would not be surprised if the Frankie Beverly and Mays playlist increases around the SWAC this season.
On third down, right after this play, we'll tell you about a little comparison here as Morris getting the play, and Dede Bright now down on the field. Third down, just a little comparison here. When Southern has faced third down, it's been at least third down and 8 or 9 yards to go. Jackson State, they're 5 for 9 on third down, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Big difference.
Oh, huge difference. If you're Jackson State, you're having 3rd and manageable. If you're Southern University, you're 3rd and long. It's a completely different scale of things.
Noah Bodden trying to get something going for Southern University. Big catch. And that's going to be a first down for Cam Jefferson, the freshman from Shreveport.
Jefferson just running up the hash mark, and then Noah Bodden putting the ball on the money in between 3 Jackson State defenders where only his guy can make the catch, and they've got a first down, and really one of the first times they've been this deep in Jackson State territory.
That's a big-time throw by Noah Bodden. Boy, that will get the fans going from Southern University, and we are at our 2-minute warning. First down at the 35-yard line when we come back. coming up at the half, it is the Pepsi halftime show, and we'll feature two of the great bands, the Human Jukebox Marching Band from Southern University and the Sonic Boom of the South from Jackson State. Ought to be a great halftime show, and of course it'll get the fans going. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. Of course, these two fan bases don't like each other. These two football teams don't like each other. But these two bands don't like each other either.
What the bands got to do? I mean, are the trombones beefing with the mellow horns or something? Here's Noah Bodden, deep throw, incomplete. Oh, man, and one of the band members got steamrolled at the very last minute.
Oh, man, yeah, the band member definitely took
Gotta watch out. Smith did all he could to try to pull up, and looks like one of the band members, security people.
Now, let me tell you something, Santorio. On that play right there, Smith tried to haul in that ball for an interception. If he tries to go to high point that ball, he gets the interception and probably doesn't run into the individuals out there on the sideline.
Looks like everybody is okay. Second down. Bodden takes off with the football. Goes out of bounds after a gain of about 4.
This is something that we had not seen Bodden do in those first couple of weeks. Showing his footwork and really just getting out of bounds. There's nothing. There's a gap right there. Let's get out of bounds, see what you can pick up, and then get out of bounds right there. Pick up solid yardage to keep the drive going.
And what do they call that? That's maturity. That's showing the growth of a quarterback when you can pull it down and say, hey, I got to take off with the ball. I'm not going to get 9 or 10 on the pass, but I can get at least some positive yards out of that play. Third down.
Third and manageable for once for Southern, too.
Bodden back. Throws complete. And that pass is going to go out to Cam Jefferson. First down, Southern. The tackle made by Guthrie.
Let's take a look here. Bodden rolling out, just directing this man, throwing it once again to a point where only his guy can make the catch. He almost was laid out to drive, but he was able to hold on to the ball.
Here is the give. A couple of yards here on first down. But you notice what Bodden was doing. That ball was just over the outstretched hands of the defender, and he pinpointed that pass right into Jefferson's hands.
I think that's something he might have picked up from working under maybe Willie Totten.
Maybe. Who's had quite a few good throws in his career.
Yeah, to some guy named Jerry Rice.
Yep. Funny commercial now that he says, hey, can I have the senior citizen discount? It's funny. Here's Bodden. Throws, and it is nearly picked off. And now Bodden's shaking up a little bit at the 30-yard line. Oh, boy.
Yeah, Bodden took a nasty hit as he was trying to get rid of the ball. But as he was trying to get rid of the ball, too, he almost threw it away to give Jackson State the ball once again. Look, Jackson State defender just comes untouched up the middle, and literally Bodden had no time to get that ball away, but at the last second, he was able to do that. Of course, that's Ashton Taylor, one of the talented linebackers on this Jackson State team. Now, third and long, once again for Southern, a situation they've been in throughout majority of this evening.
Taylor, 11 tackles and a half a sack this year. Here is Bodden, goes to the end zone over the head of the receiver as he tried to get it into Darren Morris, the redshirt freshman, and KJ Chisholm on the coverage for Jackson State.
Darren Morris, one of the freshmen that's always been around Southern University football. He played for the Southern University Lab School right there on the campus of Southern University. He tried to high point and get that 50-50 ball, but just out of the reach. Here comes the SWAC Special Teams Player of the Week.
Field goal attempts. Field goal is up. Good. Southern gets on the board.
Yeah, if you're a Jaguar fan, and also if you're on the coaching staff, you gotta be happy with the fact that you do not have that goose egg on the scoreboard anymore. Yes, you're down by 20 points, but the fact that you're able to actually get some points on the board, carry that into the locker room. They have something to talk about from a positive factor as they get ready to roll into the locker room, then come back for the second half.
9 plays, 63 yards, 2 minutes and 13 seconds. That's the longest drive for Southern in the game.
And as you mentioned before, Santori, you talk about maturity. We saw Noah Botton really look quite mature on that drive. You know, hitting his wide receivers in wide open spaces, and then just getting out of dodge and leading his team down the field for their first scoring drive of the day, especially after he was, benched today. Well, benched last week and then not starting today. So Coach Graves said that the guy has been going through a slump and he just needs to find his way to get back into the mix, because they were going to need his veteran leadership, and we're now seeing it right here.
This kickoff goes out of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson State will have the ball with 36 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Well, if you're Southern, you feel good at least getting some points on the board.
Absolutely, because, anytime you have a 0 or the goose egg on the scoreboard as you're going into the locker room, that's a tough spot. That is a very, very tough spot. So for them literally to have that, and really the best drive they've had going into Jackson State territory was that drive right there. And you think about it, Southern's starting to pick themselves up after T-Set was knocked out of the game with an apparent lower leg injury. So they do get some points. Now, if you're TC Taylor and company, you got to really just play it safe with these last 36 seconds.
And on the carry for Jackson State, Ahmad Miller. And that probably will be the last play of the first half. Maybe one more play.
Maybe one more, waiting for that play clock to reset. And you all right, Santori? That's it.
So we've come to the end of the first half. Jackson State takes a 23-3 halftime lead into the locker room. Head coach Terrence Graves waiting for his team, and there you see head coach of Jackson State headed to the locker room with a big lead. Back here at halftime, Jackson State on top of Southern by the score of 23-3. And today it's time for our halftime band performance brought to you by Pepsi. It's the Human Jukebox from Southern University.
Super Bowl, Rose Bowl, Senior Bowl, presidential inauguration. The Jukebox is standard.
The Human Jukebox from Southern University entertaining the crowd here at Jackson at halftime. 23-3 the score. Jackson State on top. We'll take this timeout. Back after this. ESPN College Football, presented by Pepsi, is here in Jackson, Mississippi. The Jackson State University Tigers up here 23-3 here at halftime. We have plenty of action coming up next from here at Mississippi Veterans Stadium here in Jackson right after this. Jackson State on top 23-3 here at halftime. We continue with our Pepsi halftime show. And now we have the Sonic Boom of the South on the field.
JSU has been walking in the rain after receiving 2 consecutive L's from the Sonic Boom last season. It's now time to give you what you came to see. Energetic, entertaining, and electric. The trendsetters of all dance teams with elegance and beauty. Please welcome the thrill of a billion eyes, the Pepsi G-Set. All right, let's
The Sonic Boom of the South performing in front of the crowd here in Jackson, Mississippi. We're at halftime. The score 23-3. Jackson State on top of Southern. We'll have more halftime activities right after this. Welcome back to college football presented by Pepsi. It is Jackson State all over Southern right now at halftime. 23-3 here in the capital city. Both teams back onto the field warming up, and Santoria Black along with Mo Carter. And Mo, when you start looking at this first half, one of the stats that you really didn't expect to see coming into this ball game is how much of a difference there would be in the rushing game between these two teams.
Absolutely. Southern University really didn't give up a lot of rushing yards last week to Savannah State, but that is completely different today. Jackson State has had their way with the Jaguar defense, especially up front, and they're doing it with running back by committee. They're not doing anything special except the offensive linemen are punching the defensive linemen of Southern University in the mouth and getting extra yards with carry after carry after carry.
Absolutely. And, you know, when you start taking a look at all of the great highlights for Jackson State, you know, just take a look at what they were able to do, our first half highlights here.
Absolutely. So here's Irv Mulligan going through a bunch of would-be tacklers. And that was another thing, too, Santoria. the arm tackles that Southern University was trying to perform, Jackson State was literally just getting by them, and then yards after contact, Jackson State just picking up so many yards after contact, including this long touchdown run right here by J-State.
On the other side for Southern University, Noah Botten had to come into the ball game.
Absolutely. Zay-T-Set went out with an injury. We do not know what his status is, but Botten, showing his maturity and showing that he's been around the SWAC for a while, he was finally able to lead Southern University down the field, make some precision passes, and eventually it would lead to a field goal to where now Southern University on the board, but still down by 20 as they get ready to take the second half.
Let's take a look at the first half stats presented by our great sponsor at Pepsi.
Of course, the thing that just stands out right there, look at those rushing yards for Jackson State over Southern University. It is literally completely dominant, 148 to 14.
Yep. And, you know, you look at passing yards 121 to 97, total yards 269 to 111. Look at those third downs, though. 5 for 9 on third downs for Jackson State, 2 for 8 for Southern University.
Absolutely. Southern did not convert their first third down conversion until midway in the second quarter. And lots of times they were going 3 and out on most of those cases. So Jackson State taking advantage of it. And then once they took advantage of it, all of a sudden they found ways to get positive momentum and then get points on the board, while Southern was only able to muster 3.
Jackson State on to kickoff as Southern University deferred in at the beginning of the ball game. And so maybe it's a good thing because they got the last 3 points of the first half, and now they get the ball back.
It is imperative that Southern finds some way to get some points on the board after getting points on the board going into the halftime locker room. So we'll see what Coach Graves and company are going to be able to muster on this opening drive.
First down and 10 now for Southern University. And
This return to the 21-yard line.
well, you know, early in this ball game, or I should say, you know, in the first half of this ball game, Mo, 2 quarterbacks go down. T-Set on one side, Cam on the other side.
Very interesting because both of these young men received SWAC honors last week, and neither one of them are in the game for the rest of the game. So we're now going with the 2 quarterbacks that we thought might see opportunities, but not in the ways we had predicted it.
Noah Botten back into the ball game. First down and 10. Botten escapes pressure. Now we'll get the ball down the field over the head of the receivers.
Good job by Noah Botten to escape the pressure from the Jackson State defensive front. He did take a hit at the end. However, he was able to throw the ball away, and second down is coming up for Southern.
Jermaine Minor Jr., who's had 6 catches for 99 yards and a touchdown coming into the ball game. The junior from Alexandria was the intended receiver. Noah Botten in the first half of the ball game, 4 for 8, 62 yards. Here's Botten with the handoff. Minimal gain on the play, maybe 3 yards, possibly 3 yards. And that'll bring up third down.
One of my keys to victory early in the game that I talked about was how Southern was going to have to establish the rushing attack. And, well, for a second we thought we were going to see another injury, but he was just slow getting up. But Southern really has not ran the ball well against this vaunted Jackson State defense. So because of that, the pressure has been put on the quarterback. And if you're Jackson State, you're loving that. If you're Southern, you're not, because you want to keep it high, tight, well, and balanced.
Just think about this coming into the ball game. Southern was averaging 24.5 points a ball game, 376 yards. Far cry from that.
It's a different week from going from against Savannah State of the SIAC to Jackson State.
Here's Botten back to pass, going downfield, and he has it caught. That is the tight end for Southern University. I should say the H-back, Tyler Kirkwood, and he gets big yardage inside the 20-yard line. First down, Southern.
Kirkwood coming down with the amazing grab, buying himself all sorts of time, and then letting it fly for a huge game for the Jaguars. As you take a look at it, look at the arm strength of Botten, just telling this guy, go get it, and he definitely does. Oh, if he's able to just keep his feet, he would be able to walk into the end zone.
Botten with the throw and whistles on the field. You got to give credit to that front line, giving Botten all kinds of time. I mean, he could have cooked biscuits and pancakes. He had so much time to pass the ball.
Absolutely, but just as much as we... But just as we talk about that great offensive line, they make a critical mistake on a pre-snap penalty, and now they're going back 5 yards.
The longest play from scrimmage by either team in this ball game.
But this is the sort of drive that Southern needs coming out of the locker room. The big question is, can they muster points coming out of it?
And basically, that play just gets them back to the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and 9, actually.
And for those wondering what were the talks like in the locker room, I guarantee you it was on the Southern side, guys, we're still in this game. We just need to make the plays, but also stop giving Jackson State the opportunities. Take advantage of your opportunities. So it looks like Southern's doing that thus far, but let's see what type of points they can get coming up.
Biden escapes pressure. Throws the football, picked off by Jackson State University. One of the big nasties comes up with the football for Jackson State. That's going to be Lacey, the 6'3" junior from Alabama, gets the interception. That's one of those career moments that you'll remember.
Absolutely. Big man interception right there. Noah Biden trying to talk it over with his quarterback coach, Willie Todd. Let's take another look at that. At a certain point in time, like, you got to think in your head, all right, I'm running out of time, get rid of it. But it slips out of his hand and into the hands of big number 90. He's trying to run away with it. And look how long it took for them to actually take him down. Talk about a swift change of momentum rolling into the hands of Jackson State.
Jamanye Lacey, he was running out of breath coming off the sideline. He was running so fast coming to the bench. And look, he's still puffing there on the sideline.
Absolutely, but you know what? He will remember this moment for the rest of his life. And look at all his teammates, too, literally just getting over like, hey, man, great job, great job. They even gave him the defensive belt on that one.
Jacobian Morgan, 6 of 12, 76 yards and a touchdown here tonight. Of course, he came in place of Cam, who went out earlier with an injury. Morgan looking, going deep for the open receiver, caught inside the 30-yard line.
That's Isaiah Spencer. Isaiah Spencer finding a way to literally find a gap in the defense. Morgan with the pump fake and literally throwing it right there on the rail route in between the defensive back and safety. Great catch. And as I mentioned earlier, they always want to get the ball to Spencer because he's able to always make big plays every time he touches the football.
Another big play for this Jackson offense. It's first down inside the 30. Here's the keeper by Morgan. He goes out of bounds inside the 25.
Southern was ready for the handoff, but it didn't seem like they were ready for Morgan. Fortunately for the Jaguars, Morgan just ran out of real estate on the other side and just ran out of bounds. Not before he picked up a couple of yards to make it second and manageable.
Morgan continues to move the Jackson State offense down the field, and that time Southern's defense was ready. Martin on the carry, and he was met head-on by Joshua Tate.
Josh Tate playing his keys and able to just pick up a great stop for Southern University. Now bringing up 3rd and long. Huge momentum play coming up for Jackson State. Can they find a way to get another first down? Can this Southern University defense get off the field? Those are the two questions. One of them will be answered coming up.
All this was set up by an interception by Jamanye Lacey and a timeout on the field.
And I mean, you think about the swing of momentum we've had over the last couple of minutes. Southern was looking good, but Jackson State now with the ball with a chance to try to put it away.
23-3 here in Jackson.
Let's unretire.
Why not? Let's see. Hey. I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
For 15 years, the Home Depot Retool Your School program has been championing HBCUs. We've been right there with campus grants, scholarships, and career opportunities. Winning schools have seen their visions for upgrading their campuses and communities come to life through sustainability projects, as well as new places to connect, like innovation lounges and outdoor pavilions. As we celebrate 15 years of partnering with HBCUs, we're excited to keep the momentum going. Retool your school. We're powered by purpose.
Fun, memories, friendship. We're here for all of it. Here for the big moments and the small ones too. We're here for unforgettable triumph, momentary misfortune, and the impromptu throwdown. We're out here each day, chasing something great. Call it adventure, call it play, we call it fun. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
Jackson on top 23-3 over Southern University. And Jackson with a 3rd down and 7. They have been moving the football, and all of this set up by defensive play and interception. Southern coming with pressure. Caught. Going to be short of a 1st down. Isaiah Spencer on the reception, and Horatio Johnson, boy, he said his name quite a few times tonight with the tackle.
Johnson's been getting a lot of work, especially against Spencer. He was able to get the great tackle and not get Spencer out of space in that scenario. So not only a great tackle, but now it's Jackson State's drive was stalled. They'll have to go for a field goal attempt.
34 yards, 39 yards. Gerard Beza, the sophomore. The kick is up. And it's good. Beza with a 39-yard field goal. And Jackson extends their lead 26-3 over Southern.
So if you're Southern, considering the fact that you had a turnover, it did not lead to a touchdown. It did lead to points, but it did not lead to a touchdown. So for Coach Graves, he's going to walk over to his guys and basically say, hey, you're still in this, but at the same time, too, they have to take advantage of what they have.
Of course, Southern University, located in Baton Rouge, founded in 1880, just over 7,000 students. Some of the famous alumni, Common, who's a musician and a poet. Randy Jackson, you may know him from American Idol, also a record producer. And the great Mel Blount had a fantastic career in the NFL.
Absolutely. I've had a chance to meet Mel Blount a number of times coming over to Huntsville. His former Pittsburgh Steelers teammate, John Stallworth, used to have a big summer extravaganza where he brought all the old guys in there to raise scholarships. And, of course, look at Mel Blount. He looked like he could still play today in his 70s.
Oh, absolutely. Jackson State will kick off. Lots of games going on around the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And next week, it's for real for both of these teams. This one will go into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Another great alum from Southern University, Mo Carter.
Oh, man, I was warned that a pitcher may come up at some point in time. This was 2007, I want to say, after one of our various SWAC games earlier in that season. So, yeah, shout out to the Sports Information Department for going dig up that pitcher for sure.
Yeah, Willie said a few things. I found out later that Willie said something. Leave it to Willie.
Yep. Willie Scott, one of the great SIDs in the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Bo, that was a few years ago, man.
It was.
Here's the give across the 25. to about the 27 on first down, gain of about 2 yards on the play.
Yes, sir. That certainly was a number of years ago, back when all I had to worry about was going to class, going to practice, and going to the weight room.
Now bills and all of that getting away.
You know, throw kids in there too, and it's the good life.
They can keep the bills. Second down and 8. Biden in the shotgun. Biden in trouble. Nearly goes down again. Another quarterback hurry for Jackson State. Ashton Taylor on the quarterback hurry.
Yes, that backside pressure once again coming from Jackson State. Right now, Southern University just has no answer for that pressure. Nobles as well in the mix. Called his name a lot tonight.
Well, you know what? Head coach Terrence Graves said that when things aren't working, sometimes you got to throw away the play sheet, you got to throw away the plan that you had, and you got to come up with something and throw it against the wall until it sticks. Biden throws, pass, good. And a reception. Wade Davis, a 6-foot senior from Dallas, Texas, on the catch.
Davis running the short route, but then sitting down in between the defense. At the same time, too, Biden had to buy some time, but eventually he got it over to Davis. He's able to pick up the first down and moving the chains, and these are the positive plays that Southern's going to have to continue to make to remain in this game.
Well, there's a play that's stuck, so they may go back to it. Biden with the handoff. Gain of a couple on the play. That's something about, Coach Graves he talks about is discipline. And that discipline, he said, it's not just on the field, but it's off the field. And he says if you play discipline, you live discipline, good things can happen. And, right now, look, Southern's had some problems and some issues here tonight, but now you're seeing a little bit of movement by this Southern University offense.
And you talk about discipline, that comes directly from his mentor, who is sitting about 20 feet away from us, Coach Pete Richardson.
Nice catch in the open field. Tyler Kirkwood all the way inside the 10-yard line. And they will spot him at the 4. First down and goal Southern.
So right here, Biden takes 3 steps back. He throws it right up the seam, and Kirkwood is able to almost outrun the defender. He tried to do a little stutter step at the end. I think if he keeps running and then dives for the goal line, he gets in. Instead, Southern will have it first and goal, by far the closest they have ever got to the goal line throughout this entire evening.
Well, they are knocking at the door, and you see Jackson State University changing some personnel here. I think they're going to call timeout. Oh, there's an injured Jackson State player on the ground.
Absolutely, the trainer's getting over to him. Coach T.C. Taylor trying to figure out what just happened. Talking over with his defensive staff.
Shamar Hawkins from Chicago, Illinois, was on the was down.
Chi-Town represented.
And Hawkins will come over to the sideline.
But look, that is the exact type of play that Southern University needs to build some sort of momentum.
And now there's another player down, this time with a cramp.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, this is that time of the year where you got to drink every bit of water and Gatorade that you can. Because it is definitely cramping season. Of course, it is cool, but it has been quite warm throughout the day. And, of course, when you got those helmets and those shoulder pads and everything else on, your body gets a little heated compared to how things would be maybe during a regular practice or something. Game time temperatures, way different situation. Now, Coach Graves, talking it over with some of the officials.
This is why I think Coach Graves is talking to the officials right here.
Yeah, Jackson State was trying to make a lot of substitutions, and they have a lot of men on the field.
And then here's the next one. And so Coach Graves wanted to talk to the officials.
You know, Coach Graves wanted to make sure that Jackson State wasn't pulling a fast one on them.
First down. The give.
Touchdown.
And touchdown, Southern University. Jaguars get 6 on the board.
Southern tasting the end zone for the first time this entire evening. And you talk about a touchdown that was much needed for a team that was really throughout this game. That's exactly what happened right there. Southern really still not getting the rushing attack going the way they want to get it. But on that play right there, they found the end zone following the big buffet busters up front.
I believe that was C.J. Russell that scored on that particular play. Couldn't tell because of the amount of mammoth humanity that was in there.
And it looks like Coach Graves has elected to go for 2 points.
Coach Graves says, let's go for 2. Bod back to pass. Escape pressure. Throws. Oh, Chandler Whitfield tried to get that ball over the goal line, and it's no good. Day Bright with the stop. And Southern University denied their 2 points. 26-9, Jags trying to get closer. Southern 9 after a touchdown run. Southern gets a little bit closer and finally getting into the end zone after a long game so far. Getting that has been really important for them, and hopefully that gives them a little bit of momentum here.
Absolutely. 2 out were really the last 3 drives that Southern University has had. It has been basically the best drives they've had throughout the entire evening. 2 of them result in points. And you think about what could have happened if they don't turn the ball over on that first drive coming out of the locker room. But, hey, they found the end zone there, now only down by 17 with still a lot of time left to go in this contest.
One play at a time. And, you know, again, you go back to what Coach Graves says, you got to find something until it sticks. And that drive, he found something that was able to stick to the wall and able to get 6 on the board.
Now if you're Jackson State, you got to go back to the well and just do everything that's been going well for you.
Southern's offense, we'll talk about that in just a second. Here is the return from Jackson State. Big return for JSU. And for Jackson State, Richard Mays. I'm sorry, that's going to be Eric Simmons on the return.
Simmons took it about 3 yards deep, and most people would just go ahead and take a knee, but not Simmons. Simmons goes ahead and just gets out of it. Look at all the arm tackles he's breaking them. Luckily for Southern, Kyle Williams was able to get the tackle. If not, Mr. Simmons might be taking it to the house.
Southern's offense, big difference. First half, 111 yards, 3 points. Second half, or third quarter, 137 yards and 6 points. What a difference a half makes. And let's see what Jackson State does on this drive. They get about 3 yards, maybe 4 on first down.
Jackson State continuing to go with the things that they have worked for them well, and that is running the ball right down the throat of this Southern University defensive line. Picking up about 5 yards on that play to bring it up to second down.
Some shifting going on for Southern. Here is the give. Great defensive play by Southern University. And Jelani Davis on the tackle, 6'2", redshirt junior from St. Louis.
Jelani Davis was waiting on that opportunity. He saw the hole open, and then the running back came straight to him. He took him down. Now it creates third and somewhat long for Jackson State, and if Southern can find a way to get off the field and do a 3-and-out, this will be a huge win for Coach Graves and company.
Morgan back to pass. Pocket closes, but he gets away from pressure. Will take off with the football and goes out of bounds, and a flag. That'll be a late hit. And that's going to be on Derek Williams, the linebacker from Miami.
Southern had the opportunity to get off the field, make it in a 3-and-out, but then an uncharacteristic, undisciplined type play by the Jaguars will give Jackson State a first down with the late hit.
And that'll be a first down, and Williams comes over and is trying to plead his case.
Morgan buying a lot of time, but yeah, he is completely out of bounds. And of course, if you're the Southern defender, you're trying to stop your momentum, but you just got to stop just in general, because look, he still lunges at least a yard out of bounds already. Don't do that if you're a Jaguar defender. If you're the Jackson State guy, sell it as much as you can.
Just like you said, they wanted to get them off the field, and now all of a sudden they're back on. 5 penalties, 45 yards for Southern. No penalties for Jackson State.
Jackson State's been playing very disciplined. Now on that play right there, it was number 9, Jamarlo Campbell, shooting the gap and getting a tackle for a loss for the Jags defense.
They'll bring up second down and 12. Big run, Morgan, near a first down for Jackson State.
The Jackson State wide receiver carrying not one but 2 Southern University defenders, trying to get to the sticks to move those chains.
Rodney Johnson on the tackle.
But at the same time, it'll set up third and short. So once again, if you're Jackson, you want to keep these chains moving. If you're Southern, you want to get off the field with a stop coming up.
Morgan back to pass. Going deep, looking, and it is complete. What a catch! A huge catch by Jonas Fortillion. First down, Jackson.
And I think in that situation, the center for Jackson State hiked the ball quickly because it seemed like there may have been an offside penalty. So, free play type situation. So Morgan just throws it up, and his guy was able to come down and get the 50-50 ball. Lots of contact right there. But at the end of the day, Jackson State's got it first and goal. Well, first and 10 inside the 20.
Here's the give on first down inside the 10-yard line. And once again, Irv Mulligan, someone that we spoke about during our pregame meeting, and that he was going to be back. And what an addition he's been to this offense.
Correct. And if you're Irv Mulligan, after the way that this offensive line has opened up the holes for not just him, but all the other running backs, he's got to find a way to get, show them thanks. Of course, we call them the buffet busters. I'm not really familiar with which all you can eat buffet things are now open nowadays due to COVID and whatnot. But whatever's still open around here in the Jackson, Mississippi area, he needs to take them over there tomorrow because they definitely deserve it for the work they've been doing against the Southern D line.
There's no question about that. Third trip into the red zone for Jackson State. Fourth trip.
Final score, Alcorn 38, Edgewater 7. Who is Edgewater?
Well, the PA announcer having a little fun after announcing the Alcorn State University game. He said Alcorn State basically won, and then who is another team? A lot of fun here in Jackson.
Oh, very much so. But interesting, though, a number of teams in the SWAC know who Edward Waters is because they have scheduled them over the last couple of years.
Out of Florida. And a run into the end zone. Irv Mulligan, touchdown, Jackson State.
The last two plays we see with Irv Mulligan, he has not been touched. At least 3-4 yards down the field. The only difference between the last play and this play was the fact that 3-4 yards down the field is a touchdown for Jackson State. So they now extend their lead, making it 32-9.
7 plays, 66 yards, 3:33 off the clock. Extra point try is good. 33-9 our score. Jackson State on top. After this big run by Irv Mulligan for 6.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Let's unretire.
Why not? Let's see. Hey. I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
When you need a tool that does it all, you need Tostitos restaurant style. Optimized for versatility, Tostitos can tackle every snack, big or small. From late-night nachos to tortilla chip towers, you need a chip in your snack box that gives a great bite every time. Get Tostitos. Get the ultimate snacking experience. Because if you're gonna do something, do it right. Tostitos restaurant style, made for snacking.
For 15 years, the Home Depot Retool Your School program has been championing HBCUs. We've been right there with campus grants, scholarships, and career opportunities. Winning schools have seen their visions for upgrading their campuses and communities come to life through sustainability projects, as well as new places to connect, like innovation lounges and outdoor pavilions. As we celebrate 15 years of partnering with HBCUs, we're excited to keep the momentum going. Retool your school. We're powered by purpose.
33-9 the score as Jackson State extends their lead. ESPN College Football presented by Pepsi as SWAC football rolls into Jackson, Mississippi, and where they are giving their home fans something to cheer about. You look at last week's game, they were able to handle Miles. So far, they're doing this. The next 2 games, though, are crucial for Jackson State. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Kickoff comes down to Southern University. It's going to be Chandler Whitfield, it looks like, in whom he is folded over like construction paper.
And once again, coming up on special teams with a big play is number 18 for Jackson State. That is Austin Edmonds.
Yep, said his name a couple of times.
Absolutely. But yeah, Sonic Boom in the South definitely giving their fans, just some fun times here. But at the same time, it's all off of the Jackson State football team doing what they've been able to do tonight against the Jaguars.
It's nothing like seeing a great HBCU college football game, and you got all the fans who are cheering, waving pom-poms. I mean, it's nothing like the HBCU college experience.
The HBCU college experience is second to none. Glad that individuals like you and I have had a chance to live it. And of course, our stories are very, very unique, but there are so many other stories that go along with it as well. Got a little jaw jacket here between the Jaguars and Tigers.
Oh, yeah. It's still a rivalry no matter what the score is.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You will play until the whistle. You will play all the way until the clock strikes 0.
Fans of Sonic Boom, led by head drum major Kristen Houghton. Show the Boom some love.
First down and 10 now for Southern. There's a good throw. Run after the catch. And that is going to be Corey Russell, or C.J. Russell, as they call him. Guthrie on the tackle. C.J. Russell, of course, transferred from Grambling from Arcadia, Louisiana.
So, with that being said, I'm pretty sure you have seen him a time or two in this scenario. Here's something we didn't talk about earlier, Santoria. It has rained the last couple of days, so because it has rained, certain parts of this field are still somewhat slick, and we saw that right there with Russell.
Here's a throw. Almost a circus catch there by Chandler Whitfield, and Noah Bodden hits the dirt once again. It's real grass, by the way, down on the field. This is not turf down there.
Correct. Jackson State is one of the few teams in the Southwest Athletic Conference that does not have a turf field. But look, on that play right there, Chandler Whitfield almost comes up with an acrobatic catch. But, Noah Bodden took a shot from the guy coming off the edge.
Bodden has thrown for 217 yards so far, 1 interception.
And for Bodden, that's really only in about 2 quarters of work. Quarter and a half, really.
Bodden goes down. And Taylor, I should say Nobles,
Joshua Nobles with this sack for the
on the sack.
Nobles has been living in the backfield. Look how he just rushes past the opposition and just takes Bodden down. Just making it look easy. We talk about how dominant the Jackson State offensive line has been. This Jackson State defensive line has been just as dominant. So I can't imagine what those head-to-head battles look like in practice on a weekly basis between those two units.
The big nasties against the Buffet Busters. Bodden with the throw. Caught. First down, Southern University. Fuller on the catch. And Bodden, boy, he is being rattled.
Bodden is being rattled. He is being hit. He is getting up, though.
Take a look at this last hit as we get ready to go to the fourth quarter. 1 quarter remaining here in the capital city as Noah Bodden. He's taking a licking, but he keeps on ticking. Jackson State on top 33-9 as we start the fourth quarter. There you see Noah Bodden, who, man, he has taken a couple of shots here in the second half, but he is still a warrior. 10 for 17, 228, and interception.
True definition of takes a licking but keeps on ticking. He has definitely been introduced tonight to Mr. Josh Nobles and also to Ashton Taylor. Those guys have been getting their hands on Biden throughout the evening, but he's been able to step away from time to time and get off some good plays.
I'm sure that's not the type of greeting that he wanted to get introduced to them. Biden with the throw, nearly intercepted by Jackson State. And on that, Ashton Taylor once again getting his hands on the football.
Instead of introducing himself in the backfield, Ashton Taylor decides to actually step back in coverage and then just drops the pass. He had it in his hands.
And there you see Noah Biden talking to his coach. There you see Jackson State University. Jackson State University, founded in 1877 in Natchez Seminary at first, and then moved to Jackson in 1882. Almost 6,000 students. The president is Dr. Marcus L. Thompson, who's really improved the profile of Jackson State. Walter Payton, Robert Brazil, of course, famous alums. Here's the run on first down. Loss of a yard on the play. And, you know, when you look at this athletic department, they really have done an outstanding job in raising the profile. You know, Ashley's just done an incredible job. He sat on the NC2As, worked with NC2As, worked at Prairie View, and when he came to Jackson State, he says, we want to create a different culture, and he really has.
Yeah, he certainly has. And I mean, you go back to the hiring of Deion Sanders and what he was able to do for this program, back-to-back SWAC football championship, back-to-back appearances in the Celebration Bowl. But then you go back and look at like a former women's head coach in Tamika Reed and what she was able to do with their dominance on the basketball courts. Of course, you call a lot of those SWAC basketball tournament games, and she's been doing well. The baseball team also doing great. They've got a long storied history. Actually went undefeated in the regular season before losing a great matchup in the SWAC championship game to the Southern Jaguars a few years ago in Huntsville. So, yeah, you talk about the athletic profile of Jackson State. It definitely has been raised thanks to Ashley Robinson.
Yeah, outstanding, of course, worked in the Southwestern Athletic Conference office. Has really made his rounds before coming here and has changed things here for Jackson State. And the beautiful new scoreboards, I might add, in the basketball Williams Assembly Center. Big run here for Jackson State. This is Isaiah Spencer. And Spencer, a first down here for Jackson State.
So Morgan on this play gets a lot of pressure from the opposition, but you'll notice that he's got the ball in his outside hand. As he gets it in the outside hand, he has just enough power to fling it over to Spencer, who gets a great stiff arm over the defender before going out of bounds. Jackson State's going to go for it on fourth down, wondering if they're just going to try to draw Southern off sides.
We'll call a timeout here. Underway here in the fourth quarter. Jackson State with the football. Again, we talked about the road coming up for both of these teams. We start with this Jackson State University team. The next 2 weeks are for real. At Grambling next week. Then on the 28th, they will go to Texas Southern, and then in Mobile to take on Alabama A&M before returning to Jackson State. Last play is under review. The return here to the confines of Jackson State on October the 19th to play Florida A&M. So they'll be out of town for the next 3 weeks.
Correct. But, you know, Jackson State does have a good following that does travel. It just so happens that the next 3 games are not here at home. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen when it comes to just the travel engagement of the Tigers. As you mentioned, right down the road at Grambling next week, and then in Houston against Coach Chris Dishman and Texas Southern. Probably the early surprise in the Southwestern Athletic Conference this year. And then, of course, they'll take on Alabama A&M, Coach Connell Maynard and company in the Gulf Coast Challenge for a huge game here against Florida A&M on October 19th. Of course, that game the last couple of years has really decided the Eastern Division winner.
Yeah. And looking at Southern University as they continue to review that last play, they will be on the road again next week at Prairie View, and that one counts. Western Division game at Prairie View, that's a long trip. And then they'll return home on October the 5th to take on Nichols before going back on the road against Texas Southern. So they'll make 2 trips to Houston 2 out of the next 3 weekends. And then they'll come back on October the 19th for a homecoming against Alcorn State. So for Southern University, really the end of their schedule is more friendly because they'll have Bethune at home, UAPB at home, then they'll have the off week and then the Bayou Classic on Thanksgiving weekend. So really the last 3 weeks of the season, a little bit more friendly for Southern as it relates to home travel.
Absolutely. You know, for the Jaguars, typically when it comes to the 2 Houston area teams, Prairie View and Texas Southern, they usually get 1 at home and 1 on the road. But somehow, because of the way everything kind of fell this year, they're going to the Houston area twice in a 3-week span. But Coach Graves will tell you, hey, it's not unfortunate. It's what their schedule is, and they've got to play the guys in front of them.
They review the spots. So what they're reviewing is whether or not it was a first down.
So steps out of bounds right about the 49-yard line. Did they put him out at the 48 initially?
Yes.
Okay. That's what happened. Yeah,
just short of the 49. Yeah. So Jackson State with a fresh set of downs. Here is the give. And a new back into the ball game for Jackson State, and that is Amari Matthews, 5'7" redshirt sophomore, Midlothian, Texas.
A new running back in the game, but same result for Jackson State when it comes to their rushing attack. They are still getting 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, especially when Southern defenders aren't even touching them 2 to 3 yards down the field.
Matthews hit, bounces off defenders, and still gets enough for a first down.
Matthews broke 3 tackles on that play. 3 opportunities for Southern University's defense to get a tackle for a loss, and he could not get the young man down. As we take a look at this again, just look how shifty he was. He spins out of that tackle and then gets out of not 1 but 2 more tackles. 4 tackles he gets out of, and guess what? Picks up a first down in the process.
Looks like a pinball down there.
Maybe short in stature, but he definitely made big plays in that scenario. Taking advantage of his opportunities when he gets them.
When your number is called, you got to answer. And so far, Matthews has done that these last couple of plays for this Jackson State offense. 178 yards rushing now. No gain on this play. The total rushing yards in the ball game, 178 for Jackson State, 20 for Southern.
Huge disparity compared to what we saw last week, for sure, with that. And as I mentioned before, Southern needed to find a way to get their rushing attack going so it could take the pressure off of whoever was playing quarterback, and that has not been the case tonight. But Jackson State, they have definitely been firing off the ball.
Morgan, back to pass, going deep down the sideline, incomplete. Tried to get it to Logan Mack.
Mack had a step over the cornerback, and the safety took too long to get over there. It just was out of the reaches of his intended wide receiver. Morgan is definitely saying to himself he wish he could have that one back, but they'll work on it from a chemistry standpoint.
Mack, of course, from Arizona, coming to play football here at Jackson State.
For a young man from out there, I'm sure it's a little bit of a culture shock at first, but the best thing about dealing with a new culture is embracing it.
3rd down and 10 now. Here's Morgan. Escapes pressure. Toss the football out of bounds.
Morgan doing the smart thing to just get the ball out of the way and, live to play another day. Southern is able to get a lot of pressure. And if you're Terrence Graves and Coach Henry Miller, the defensive coordinator, they're going to go back and look at it and basically use this as an example, saying like, hey, we should have been making more plays like this during the evening, not this far late into the game.
Harry was the one that put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and now Jackson State will punt the football. Well, you see some of the fans have decided to depart. See some of the brake lights now leaving the stadium.
I'm trying to beat that traffic down.
Look at this kick. Inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Well, you know everything is going right when you got your punter that's kicking it inside the 5-yard line. Matt Knoll inside the 23rd time this season. Back after this.
Fun, memories, friendship. We're here for all of it. Here for the big moments and the small ones too. We're here for unforgettable triumph, momentary misfortune, and the impromptu throwdown. We're out here each day, chasing something great. Call it adventure, call it play, we call it fun. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
When it looks different, feels different, it's because Tostitos Scoops taste different. At the intersection of innovation and an invitation to dip, Scoops give you more of what you love and doesn't apologize for it. Designed to be delicious, designed to take on any life throws at you. Tostitos Scoops, designed to dip.
The SWAC, the premier athletic conference in the nation. A collection of schools rich in tradition, pride, and pedigree. Sacrifice, winning, allegiance, champions. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Time to take a look at the Pepsi scoreboard. Brought to you by our good friends at Pepsi, proud supporters of the SWAC. Michigan State beat Prairie View 40-0. It was Alabama A&M over Georgetown, 24-13. That's in the fourth. Texas A&M Commerce on top of Grambling by a touchdown in the fourth quarter. It was Alcorn getting their first win this season over Edward Waters, 38-7. Murray State on top of Valley, 52-8. Sanford, tight game, 12-7 over Alabama State. Western Michigan over Bethune-Cookman, 59-31. And in the third quarter, Tennessee State on top of Pine Bluff. Southern from their own end zone will try to throw this one out. Long pass, and it is caught. Chandler Whitfield, big catch, first down.
Chandler Whitfield coming up with a huge grab. He's one of the impact players that we've talked about early on in the year. He's been making some things happen. It's just the perfect pass by Noah Biden to put it in the place where only his receiver can make the grab. So they get him out their own shadow of their end zone.
Day Bright will be credited with the tackle on the play, and here is the throw on first down. Back to Chandler Whitfield again. Into Jackson territory.
These are the plays that Biden has been making throughout the evening ever since he came in to replace T-Set. Now it's just a matter of can they complete the drives, can they finish the drives, get some points on the board.
Biden back to pass. Escapes pressure. Incomplete. Pass was intended for Dupree Fuller. Guthrie on the coverage for Jackson State.
Guthrie was wrapped on his man like a tight blanket that you would put on yourself on a cold night. He was not allowing anything to come through on that play.
Tell you how big this game is. Talked to a couple of folks from Jackson State's athletic department. There were probably better than 40 or 50 buses easily for this game. And it's not including the team.
No, not at all. Not at all. You and I drove over here or whatever, and I mean, we saw the buses, but then we saw so many people in line. Gates did not open until 4 o'clock, and these lines were wrapped around the block, waiting for people to just get in so they can get their seat. And they were standing in the hot sun at that.
You saw a shot of the crowd. So a lot of people still here, and been a lot of activities this week. Here's Noah Bodden going deep, turning around, getting the catch. And that is going to be a big catch. Nice job by Quay Davis. KJ Chisholm on the coverage.
Great job by Quay Davis coming down with this ball. It's somewhat of a back shoulder type grab, but man, he had a defender draped all over him and still was able to get the grab. Could have possibly got maybe a little late hit, but they went ahead and just held the penalty flag on that one.
Run on first down, gain of about 4 yards on the play.
Of course, Quay Davis started his career here at Jackson State. He's been around the SWAC thanks to the transfer portal.
Well, what do they say? Coaches say the transfer portal helpeth, giveth, and the transfer portal taketh away.
Absolutely. And, of course, that is now the new norm in not just college football, but college athletics as well, especially when you can transfer and play immediately.
Talked to a former NFL player who said that there are kids who've been to more colleges than I was on NFL teams.
I believe it.
Bodden, great pass. Getting it out to Minor Jr. He goes in, touchdown, Southern University. Jermaine Minor Jr.'s second touchdown of the year.
That is a touchdown that Southern desperately needed to kind of keep some momentum going back in this game. I mean, they're completely not out of it just yet, but they certainly needed that one. And Minor on that play, too, he literally caught it, shook off a defender, put his foot in the ground, did a little shimmy shake, and then took it to the house.
How about Noah Bodden's numbers now? 14 of 23, 319 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Bodden for 2, new.
2-point conversion, no good. Guthrie with the pass breakup.
Once again, big touchdown throw by Noah Bodden, who's over 300 yards passing. This drive started at the 3-yard line, and the Jaguars drive 97 yards for the touchdown.
always comes just more great matchups and more great opportunities to spread the HBCU experience that we've seen here with the growth of the Southwestern Athletic Conference through the years.
I think last year I had a chance to see Florida A&M and Texas Southern University, a matchup that you wouldn't see that very often at all. And so for them to come to Houston, it's a great crowd there. People hadn't seen FAMU there in quite some time. And so it's great to see these games, especially, there's teams that you won't see for 3 or 4 years.
Absolutely. And here's the other thing, too, for those that do not know, tonight's game between Southern and Jackson State is a non-conference affair. When you have teams on different sides of the divisions, they roll off of each other's schedule. So Ashley Robinson and Coach Roman Banks, the athletic directors of the school, said, hey, let's schedule each other as non-conference foes so we know for sure we can keep the rivalry going. And, of course, it can be a financial benefit for both institutions in back-to-back years.
Absolutely. No gain on first down. Minimal gain.
Travis Terrell with the carry.
It just gets a little tricky, though, when you start looking at things like, wait, does this count? Does this count? It does get a little tricky from time to time, though, Santori. I will say that because, when you get the schedule releases, you're like, oh, this is this. No, this is this. Like, you got to start actually reading in between the lines or reading the actual press release to actually see what is, a legit thing that's from the crossover standpoint.
Small gain on the play to bring up third down.
Same situation for Jackson State once again. The Jackson State running backs breaking the arm tackles, taking the hits, and then getting additional yards after contact and falling forward. Critical third down and 7 coming up for Jackson State.
Very much so. Again, both these teams will have their games that will count in the division next week. Incomplete pass was intended for landing. Johnson, Horatio Johnson, once again on the coverage.
A rare opportunity in which the Southern Dog Day D makes Jackson State go 3 and out. So they're going to get the ball back with decent field position and a decent amount of time left on the clock. There's still time. Not a lot of time, but there still is time to make some things happen. But as most people will say, Southern's got to go once they get the ball back.
And they'll get the ball with just under 6 minutes remaining in the ball game. And this will take a Jackson bounce inside the 20 down to about the 16-yard line, and that's where Southern University will take over when we come back. Jackson on top big here in the fourth quarter. Let's take a look at the SWAC upcoming schedule brought to you by Pepsi. And, of course, Clark Atlanta will be at Bethune, Valley at Nichols, Southern will be at Prairie View. That'll be in Houston, Alabama, A&M at Austin Peay, Central Arkansas at Pine Bluff, in-state game there. Jackson at Grambling, 2-hour trip for JSU. Florida A&M at Troy, Texas Southern at Lamar, and Alcorn goes to Lake Charles to take on McNeese.
Well, definitely looking forward to that Jackson State Grambling game, since you and I will be there next week along I-20 in North Louisiana. Absolutely,
and that Southern Prairie View game, that's going to be a big one. And because that is a divisional game, both of these are divisional games, the only two of the weekend, they could really set the tone going down the stretch.
And for Southern fans, you will see them on social media saying they're heading to A.W. Mumford West because they've had so much success over at that new stadium that Prairie View has built over the last couple of years.
I got a feeling that'll be some billboard material.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Caught, and it's a first down, it looks like, for Southern University. Complete to Darren Morris.
First and 10, Southern.
Darren Morris making the sliding grab right there on the sidelines. Picks up enough to move those chains.
Coming up out of the break, Southern University 111 yards in the first half, 269 in the second half. Jackson 269 in the first half, 110 in the second.
I mean, you can't make this up, Santoria. Like, that's how much of a difference it really has been. The main thing, though, in the first half is that Jackson did all their damage, because out of that 269 yards, they got a lot of points out of those.
You look at the passing yards here for Southern, for Southern, 15 to 24, 329 for Noah Bodden, a touchdown and an interception.
2nd and 3, Southern.
Led by Morris, who has 86 yards. 47 yards of yak. Yards after the catch.
Yes, sir. I was going to Southern University. The wide receiver core that we always had to go against. They used to call each other the rack boys. Receiving yards after catch.
Mm-hmm. Caught. Great catch by Quay Davis. Day Bright with the coverage.
But say what you want, you have to be impressed with what Biden has gone through the last couple of weeks, including coming into tonight, and then, having an impressive performance against this vaunted Jackson State defense. He's taken his licks, but at the same time, he's been able to yield positive results moving up and down the field, maybe minus that interception that he had at the beginning of the second half.
Of course, T-Set, the starting quarterback, was injured in the first half, and Biden took over. Here's a throw out of bounds. Great decision there. On the other side for Jackson State, Cam McCoy was the starter. He was knocked out in the first half, and Jacobian Morgan took over.
Correct. All week long, we figured we would see multiple quarterbacks play. We just didn't think it was going to be for both teams, to be honest with you.
Head coach Terrence Graves will continue to try to find answers. And, of course, grandkids call him G-Pop. Says he doesn't spoil his grandkids. Loves on them, helps them, and can't wait to spend time with G-Pop.
Yes, absolutely. And Coach Graves is very active on social media, so anytime he's around those grandkids, he'll be like, hey, G-Pop time. He'll show a picture of him and his grandchildren. And, of course, he said it's all about just raising them right and just teaching them some great things. We did ask him, hey, we're going to see some future football players or whatever, and he was like, okay, we're going to take that one day at a time because that's too far down the line, he said.
And when you ask him about he's got former players that are now on his coaching staff.
Correct.
I said, well, how does that make you? I said, what does that do for you to know that you got former players on your coaching staff? He said, it makes me feel old. Noah Bodden can't escape pressure. He was grabbed by the back of his shoulder pads. That's going to be a horse collar.
Absolutely. He got yanked. He got yanked as he tried to get that pass away.
It was like somebody's mama that told you to come here and you did, and they yanked you by the back of your shirt.
Absolutely. It gives me vivid images of my late grandmother, Clara Lou, who would do that to me if I did not respond to her after that first time.
Biden wanted the flag, and he got the flag, and now That's the first Jackson State penalty of the night, the first one.
And you think about that for a second. The first Jackson State penalty, I mean, they've just been playing, very disciplined.
Noah Biden going deep, trying to find an opening. Intercepted in the end zone by Jackson State University.
Yay!
And that's going to be Wiggins with the interception. And that's going to bring up first down. And for Wiggins, that is his first interception of the season. And there's Biden going over to talk to Totten. And that time, no connection with the receiver there for Southern University.
Frederick Wiggins, he looked like he was the receiver on this play. Biden just literally tried to throw it in front of the receiver. The only thing about it is that Wiggins was right there to make the perfect play to basically end the drive and practically put away Southern for this evening.
Yep, under 3 minutes remaining here in the ball game. Second interception of the game for Noah Biden.
Wiggins, a senior defensive back. He's a transfer from Louisiana Monroe, so I'm pretty sure he and Chandler Whitfield have crossed paths multiple times, through the years, not just here in this rivalry, but also when they were probably teammates at some point in time, too.
Travis Terrell on the carry. Yeah, both of those guys went to ULM and decided to transfer to their respective schools.
Second and 3, Tigers.
And, for Chandler Whitfield, a little bit closer to home.
Absolutely. Chandler Whitfield, a product of Zachary High School, just literally right up the road from the Southern University Baton Rouge campus. You can head a number of ways up there. You can take Highway 19, a.k.a. Main Street. You can take Highway 61, or you can go all the way up the Plank Road and come all the way down, in which you come around to Cheneyville, home of one Doug Williams, and then roll into Zachary that way.
Flag on the play.
There's a lead. Flag on the play.
I just go over the hump and then go to the baseball stadium.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah. When the SWAC tournament was there, a lot of baseballs off the hump.
I'll never forget my
Sportsmanlike conduct on Kurt Ford Jr. Oh, man.
A little wrestling match right there, WWE style, taking them down by the head.
They called that on Ford Jr.
They did.
I'm not quite sure.
I mean, did he say something that we just could not hear up here?
But nonetheless, it backs him up, and Coach Taylor wants a little bit of a clarification because he didn't feel like that it should have been on his player.
Y'all check out Sonny and the Baby Tigers on the ramp.
First down and 10, Jackson.
And look, Santori, we talked about how Jackson had no penalties up until a few minutes ago, and now they've had 3 in the last
minute and a half.
Yeah. TC's not going to like that.
That last one, I don't know. It's just that was a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
And now the 2-minute timeout.
Tiger fans, we invite you to meet us in
33-15, Jackson State trying to get their second win of the season. State on top, and it's time to tell you about our Gatorade player of the game, and it's that young man right there, Jacobian Morgan, who came in a backup role and really did well.
Absolutely. Jacobian Morgan, of course, he has been a starter for Jackson State, but McCoy got the start. But once he went out with an injury, it was Morgan that really just controlled the tempo for this Jackson State offense. But at the same time, he's got to show so much love to his buffet busters up front. That offensive line kept his jersey practically clean throughout the night, and then it transformed into the rushing attack as well.
Morgan takes off with the football. Ooh, man, he is nailed right at about the 22, 23-yard line. And he goes forward to about the 27-yard line, and all kinds of pleasantries being shared after that.
Hey, he was able to move the sticks on that one. And like I talked about, that offensive line, he was not touched on the read option for about 3-4 yards down the field. I mean, he's a tough kid for sure. He's a big kid.
And Jacobian Morgan, 6'4", 225 from Canton, Mississippi.
A Syracuse transfer, correct?
Yes. Canton, Mississippi, home of the legendary quartet group, the Canton Spirituals.
You got it.
Here's the give. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play as we are under a minute.
Yeah, if you're Jackson State now, you're just really running this clock out and taking home the victory in this historic rivalry, which would be 5 in a row, if I'm not mistaken, for Jackson State, which is interesting because prior to this winning streak, Southern had won 8 in a row. Going back to that historic SWAC championship game in Houston, Texas that went into overtime.
Well, clock winds down, 25 seconds left in this rivalry game in which Jackson State will get their second win of the season. Southern University gets their second loss of the season. And Coach T.C. Taylor talking to one of the officials, and he's a little upset. And this one will belong to Jackson State. Final score, 33-15, JSU wins over Southern University.
Jackson State controlling the tempo from the beginning, hopping out to an early lead, and by building up that momentum, that puts Southern in so many situations that they were just not prepared for in that scenario. And, of course, you see a lot of love being shown right there between T.C. Taylor and Coach Terrence Graves. Right there, of course, you know, who knows? This is still a long season. These two arch rivals could meet later on in the year, but a lot of things have to be improved upon both sides to make that happen. But Jackson State walking away tonight with a victory that was dominant for majority of the night.
So for Mo Carter, I'm Santoria Black. The final score here from Jackson, Mississippi, Jackson State 33, Southern 15. Jackson State gets the win. This has been a production of the Southwestern Athletic Conference here on ESPN+.